All right. Can you guys hear me at all? Right. Okay, cool. This real quick.
One second, guys. I'm gonna get this set up. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, unfortunately.
Hey, everybody. All right. I'm getting things set up. So,
Bruce, is that Muhammad Ali in your background?
Yeah. We're gonna be doing a Mobalytics podcast.
Good friend of mine.
So,
Yeah.
no updates, not today. Okay.
Can you guys see all the other? Oh, grid view. Oh my god, I forgot to put on grid view. Okay.
Is that better?
Okay. We got. I found the setting. Thank God. We need Robin here.
Oh, they're very. Okay, is that better?
Mr. Robin.
I'll have audio or video after we get everything set up. Okay. All right.
Wait, so how do you guys do it? So you have your camera on both?
Hey, Daydream.
I don't know. I just use NVIDIA
NVIDIA
Broadcast and it works. Yep.
Yeah, video broadcast is a good option. That works fine usually. Dude, my camera is so fucking zoomed out. It's crazy because the virtual cam doesn't crop.
Let's see. I see some guitars, a heater,
That's a AC actually.
AC.
Yeah.
What's a
That's-
flag? Flag is that's too far away.
Oh.
It's a Greek flag.
Greek flag. Is it?
Yes.
I'll be on cam as soon as we get this podcast all set up. They're figuring it out how to get it
How
to get it up and running.
So we got
Right
Rob
now.
in there too. That's
I hope it
perfect.
works.
I'm gonna try and get background set up for this here.
Gets his cam working too, then we're perfect. Yeah,
The
use
technology is
stream.
loading forever, dude.
So we just stream this here. Or is there going to be that graphic that you showed? Is that how that works?
Unfortunately, I only have the graphic as video, so I can't really.
Test video. Okay.
I'll just stream Discord, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I'll
So,
just
yeah,
stream
Discord's the
Discord too.
easiest way. Right, invite
now it works.
guests. I'll invite Clip This as well. Ruse and Sanctum. Do you stream on Twitch, Ruse?
Yeah. Well, now, but I'll stream today for the fun of it. Yeah, I'll get to.
I sent you an invite for collab stream together as well, Rob.
Where does that
Yeah,
show?
was like... You might need to cut my camera a bit in Discord for,
Yeah, I will.
For your take. Because there's this
I
like,
need to
thing
cut mine
around
as
it.
well. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine,
okay, good.
mine too.
Just remove the green thing on that side.
Yeah.
Everybody, so we're gonna be doing a podcast
I
here
did
with
ask for the,
Mobalytics.
stream together invite. I did post you the
Oh.
part where you accepted.
Yeah, wait a second.
Yeah,
where's that?
I'm setting up the scene while we're doing it.
Did I get that?
Where does the invite go to? Where do you see that?
I did post a picture in.
Oh wait, I think I found it. Yeah, I found it. Okay, it was just in the notifications on Twitch. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, let me go into my Twitch then.
Wait, it says you ended it, maybe. I got this notification here. Thank you for joining. The stream together has ended.
Wait,
Unlucky.
what?
Rejoin.
This is
Okay.
in though.
Well, I'm joining again. It's gonna work.
Wait, invite me again, maybe, to it.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
seeing it.
trying. There's also a collab link. Maybe I can post it in here.
Oh, that might be easier.
Make sure to mute you on the stream together.
Mhm.
It's only to have shared chat.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Everyone's in. Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. Let me set up the scene now. Next time when we do this, I want to try using stream together to also have the cams and the audio. Maybe that works better than Discord, but for now we're gonna do it with Discord.
Sounds good.
Now I just need to make sure to get the scene set up properly. Do that, and then we can take it from there.
I don't know if my stream is muted or my share together, but it also doesn't show that my mic is lighting up.
As I said, we should mute ourselves on stream together, just so to only have the audio through Discord.
Yeah, I don't see the option on there.
There's a mute button at the bottom. For me.
Oh, okay, never mind. I found it.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, let me set up the scene. I need to get all of you in there. It's not as easy because I have to manually crop every single one of you. So we're gonna be here for like 2-3 minutes.
Okay. How's
That's
everyone's
fine.
season prep going? You guys excited about the chaos uniques or what?
I like them. Honestly,
Yeah.
I like them. I wish they were a permanent feature.
Really?
Yeah. Gives you something to farm for, you know?
Yeah. But it's the rarity you guys are expecting on them. I have a hard time telling like how common they're gonna be. Like, you guys think we're gonna have them by like day 4 or 5, like with the correct setups?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a blaster, yeah, probably, right?
Yeah, maybe.
To manually crop all of them. That's gonna take a bit.
Yeah.
I bet I can crop my cam with that. Nice.
Okay.
Should be 600 then. Oh, the background thing is not transparent. Okay, that kind of sucks. I got the background just today from our editors, but they're not transparent. But that's fine.
Oh.
I guess we're just gonna have to work with what we got. The way it is. Just the way it is.
Okay, sorry guys, I'm back now.
What's up, Rob?
Just had to fix everything. Hey, nice to see you all. Are you excited for the season?
Yeah, man. It should be interesting for sure with the chaos powers and whatnot. A couple of new things to try out.
Nah, it's gonna be fun.
When
I
are you
think the
gonna start
power
on?
creep. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the power creep is kind of insane. It is.
Insane.
What are you gonna play, Rob? Spearborn?
No, I'm gonna play all the classes, man. I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
okay, but what are
start.
you
So
what are you
for
gonna
me-
start on? What are you
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
start on?
For me, like starting is between like Spiritborn. Obviously, you have evade and you have the crazy endgame builds. There's so many of them. I really like the ape crushing hands or the ape payback, like whatever ape. Gonna be super cool. So that's definitely super interesting. I also like to see the ball lightning sword come back, and that's also very strong from the very start. Like sorcerer leveling is insane.
Yeah.
So it's between those two, and then there's also Druid that I want to play because yeah, overabundance is just so ridiculous right now.
Overabundance is
I
correct.
was also sure they would nerf ball lightning. Like I was like the adaptive technique or whatever like is giving the core skill multiplicative. I was like so sure that they would nerf ball lightning. I stopped playing the ball lightning. I didn't even make a video about it because I was like, they're gonna nerf this. Like no way. They made the ball lightning sword live the way it is. It's so crazy.
Yeah. The mana stacking, banish lords, all that stuff with the build is insane. It's so good.
I'm getting everything set up. It does take a while, unfortunately. Have to, as I said, manually do it. But we'll be there. That's why I wanted you guys to join a little bit earlier. You need to get the ratio right. So difficult. Okay. The next one. I can't swap the scene until it actually happens. Make sure to have share chat on in the settings. But I'm sure that works.
Oh, chat on where? What?
The stream together have share chat.
Oh yeah, it's working. It's working. I see all the chats.
Okay, perfect. I just need to get the rules well into frame. Then it's
Building
gonna
a
save them.
barn? What's that mean? Oh yeah, we're going Barb. Yeah, right from the start. Definitely going Barb from the start. I got shared chat on for this here, so we're gonna be doing a podcast
Oh, got the
with
perfect here,
Mobalytics.
Nice. You're perfectly in frame, my friend.
Pixel perfect.
Ah, good enough.
All right, all good on my end, I think.
Okay, I'm nearly done. Can start and just. The unfortunate part is I couldn't do this before you guys joined, so
Yeah, because you don't have the frames.
exactly. But I can save the
Volume
scene,
okay
so
for
next
everybody?
time we do something like this, and it's 5 people, I'll have it cut up already.
Okay, I'll mute for a
Good.
sec. Just post in the post
I
in
do
the
read
chat when you're
TikTok chat. We're
sure.
getting a podcast set up for everybody. So we're gonna be doing a podcast with Mobalytics for a little while. So that's so I'll be focusing on that stuff right now. But I'll be on streaming at my normal time tonight. That'll be just a normal stream. Thank you so much for the subscribes. Okay, let me make sure that the
My first
sound
time turning on my stream in months.
sound alert is
Been a
off.
lifetime.
And
I wonder. It might be like 6+ months for me. It might be closer to a year.
okay, let me
Wait,
see
that
now.
much?
Hey,
Damn.
I'm
It
getting
might
everyone
be.
together. That's it.
Alert box is off.
Last time I streamed was in May. Okay, not as long as I thought. 6 months.
Okay, I think this should be good now.
YouTube is just so much more of a vibe. It's so much more chill.
You're streaming on YouTube usually, or like?
No. I just mean like making
Okay.
YouTube content compared to streaming.
Yeah.
All right. Started playing Diablo. No problem. It's hard with shared chat. So we have shared chat right now. So we'll see
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
we'll see how things go.
Okay, I think it's not gonna get much better than that. So, well, I guess I can, while we talk, adjust a few things. But yeah, let me swap the scene to live. There we go. All right. Okay. So,
All right.
I need to route in Discord voice as well.
Or people Streamlabs muting each other. That's funny.
I
Like
can't post
regulating
links
this-
in my own chat, man.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
Whoops.
wait, streamer, you're not allowed to post a link in your own chat. Like, what?
That's funny.
Yeah, Immortalized, I was way far away from a microphone. I should definitely not be quiet right now.
Yeah, we know the audio. We can all adjust manually on our end, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I permitted you. Okay, let me add the Discord voice as well.
All right. Everything good on my end from everybody on the stream that you guys can hear?
Okay, can you say something?
Hello, test 1, 2, 3.
Okay, doesn't work yet. 1 second.
Yo,
Oh,
thank
shit,
you so
what the
much. Well, we got a big sub gift. I don't even know who got it now. 50 subs.
Wow.
For clip this.
50
What?
subs.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
It just
Flip
says like
this.
sub
Thank
gift.
you. Thank you. No,
Holy.
thank you.
Man, that's a lot of subs.
you.
50,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Thank you.
Let's go, man.
Yeah,
Celebrate
let's
the 50
go.
subs.
Thank
Your
you.
chat is not muted.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me all good?
I'll
Yep.
turn you up a bit. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I don't
Let's
have
go.
audio on the Discord for some reason.
Clip is
Orlando,
the man.
thank you.
The Bob Nation representative here. Like, look. Yes.
We got the Barb Nation going here.
No, let's go. I think I have a hoodie just like that, huh?
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, thanks again, man. That was sick. When we
Yeah,
go
that's
back
awesome.
on Bob, like last season I wore it when I switched to Bob, so we're gonna go for it again when
Love it. Love it.
we're gonna go for the Bob Nation, dude.
Why do
Okay,
I
we'll
not
just
have
talk maybe.
sound?
just interrupt us when you're done. So what build are you gonna
Yeah.
start, Cliptus? Like, do you know yet? Like what Bob build?
Yeah, I actually think we're running a lunging strike into. I really want to get on Hoda, but I want to get the auto cast build up and running because that thing is just insane, super fun.
That's right, man. But yeah, I'm excited for Hoda comeback. I don't know like how crazy it's gonna be with the Mobalytics buff. They also buffed the overpower stuff a bit. It's for sure gonna have like this double scaling with Fury.
Yeah,
Look pretty
Yeah.
well, but I'm not sure if it's gonna make it into like 120 plus territory though. I think I played on the PTR 110. It was very hard to do 110 on the PTR.
yeah, it was. I got it up to a couple trillion damage, so we'll see what happens with the Ramalani's buff and stuff like that. But
Yeah, well, what PT did you do? Like 100, like couple trillion is like okay, it's good, but like how often was the problem for me because you can't get banished on every proc, right? So it was like.
yeah, I
a
didn't
bit difficult
get to push
perma overpower.
I didn't get to push too much. I was working the entire PTR. I worked from Tuesday to Tuesday, so I had like
Okay.
very little time.
Dude, it was the same. Like yeah, me and Mippy, like I was still in the US, and then we were at Gamescom as well. Mippy was there too, and then there was like almost no time for the PTR. It was pretty crazy. Like usually I like log in like the full 7 days, but yeah, I didn't had that much time this time around. I only played like from
Easy
Friday
hats,
onwards,
yep.
basically.
Yeah, I remember you guys were traveling right at the time. I mean, it was kind of bad timing. The PTR started right when they had everybody fly out there.
Nah. We stayed like it was like a week before. Like, we just stayed longer in the United States because last time when they had the Spiritborn reveal, I could only stay for like 4 days or something, and I had to fly back. And this time I was like, yeah, man, I need to see more of the United States, man. I gotta like stay at least another week. I should have stayed like 4 weeks.
No, I
man.
like
There's
having
not enough
Diablo.
time to see everything.
I like having Diablo 4 as Diablo 4, not Diablo 2.
It's a big
Yeah,
country.
this there's a lot to see though. I drove across country one time and it was pretty cool to see. Let's see what we got here. I wonder if I can
Yeah.
fix my
And I was
camera.
only like basically in California. Like and there's like so many other places. Never enough time. It was still fun.
I'm gonna see if I can update my camera. I don't know if I can do this camera thing when I'm live. Oh, maybe not. Doesn't look like it. I'm kind of like far back a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, I just I hate it, man. I can't get the audio to work. It's so unfortunate. What the fuck?
What's the problem?
Like I can't hear you. Like the problem is I can't get you guys' audio into my Streamlabs for some reason. Like I have my microphone. It works. Wait, say something?
Yeah, it was
Testing,
work.
testing.
Testing.
Can you
Can
just
you guys
do
hear the guys?
like desktop capture?
For me, everything works.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I
only
can
you?
hear everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god. I'm trying to
Yeah,
add
how
new
they
audio
green stuff, man.
scenes. I'm trying to add new audio scenes, but it just doesn't work. Yeah, only you. Holy! I knew it would be something like that. That didn't work. Like
Can you
usually
just
when I
capture
stream,
straight from your desktop? Like, are you trying to capture specifically Discord? Can you just do like generic desktop?
Daydream, thank you so much. Welcome
yeah,
to
I'm
the
trying to do
Legionnaires.
that actually. Like I captured generic Discord, but I have
1337, boys.
Wait. Okay, I can change the sound settings to have Discord not be routed through chat, but instead route to my desktop.
Okay.
Maybe that works.
All right, awesome.
It's a standard. Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. PT.
Okay, can you guys
Yeah,
say
for
something
anybody
right
that's
now?
asking, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. PT. That's when it started.
Less than 24 hours.
Shared
21
hype
hours
train
actually now, man.
success.
Let's go.
Interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. Merlando,
Oh
again,
shit! Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
not
you're
that
still
much.
there listening, but thank you for the
Yep.
follow, everybody.
Gotta get those builds done.
Yeah.
50.
You guys are still
subs.
like going
Crazy.
crazy with more builds.
Amazing.
Like there's so
Wait, hold
many
on.
this season. I'm
There's
glad
so
like the last week basically. Like since they
Wonder if
announced
this is
this,
gonna
I've been
work.
like almost 15 hours every day because I do all the
Yeah.
classes. It's like pretty
I
crazy.
saw you've been streaming like crazy. Yeah, because you have to do everything for D4 builds.
Oh, it works just for my
Yeah.
my stream. Okay,
Well,
perfect.
I like it. I like doing it.
There's
Like
the
I
points
also like
from
playing all the
Orlando.
classes. It's just
There you
like,
go.
So that's what keeps me like playing Diablo. You know, if I would only play
Go
one
back to
class,
sleep. Yeah,
I
go
think
to,
it
go to
would
bed.
be getting like somewhat boring after like a couple weeks. You know, like if
I was curious about
Thanks
that
for the follow.
from
Welcome
you,
in.
because dude, you play like so long and so much, and we always like run out of stuff to do and just kind of like tap out. But like you're always playing so long. Like I've always been curious. Like
I don't know.
do
Oh
you
wait.
enjoy
Okay,
like
let
the
me.
stream? Do you enjoy the game that much? Like what is it that keeps you so interested in the game for so long?
yeah, for me it's definitely like trying all the different builds, especially those I haven't played yet. Like last
don't know
season,
if I'm-
I basically started out
I don't know how to
Spiritborn.
turn that
That was
off.
like
Honestly,
not so much new stuff, but then I got to play the Hydra Sorcerer. That was like good for like 2 weeks or something. It was the craziest
Oh,
shit ever.
finally, I got it.
Oh, it
Okay.
works.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
We can start.
I
there.
had to
can
change
touch
the
on that
Windows
later.
settings. The Windows settings were the issue actually. I had to change the Windows settings to take into account that I don't know. It's whatever. It works now.
this is gonna get cut also
It just
and
took
edited
forever.
stuff
All right.
that once they post it. But
we're here.
We
All
did it. We
right.
did
All
it.
right. We actually did it. We
Okay.
actually did it.
all right, everybody, we're gonna get
Okay.
started
First
on
of
this
all,
podcast.
thank you all guys for joining this this podcast.
Yeah, glad to be
I'm
here.
Happy to introduce all of our guests. You guys can start off, and I'll go first and be basically. If you guys don't know me, I'm Mippy. I do rogue builds, and I'm the Mobalytics team lead for D4. And I brought us all together to talk about season 10 and have a nice chat about everything that's happening and how we're gonna feel for the season and how everything is going to be going. Right. If you guys want to introduce yourself, let's start out with Rob and then go to Cryptus, then Roos, and then Sanctum.
Yo, hey guys, I'm Rob. Like to play Diablo a lot. I also play pretty much all the classes, and I can't wait. Season 10 is looking to be probably the craziest power level out of all. And no matter which class you like, no matter what you want to play, all the builds are going to be extremely strong. Hope you're going to enjoy.
All right, thanks. I'm Clyptus. For anybody that doesn't know me yet, I am the Barb writer for Mobalytics. I'm incredibly excited about this. I play pretty much only D4 on my off time. I'll play some D4, and then on my off time from gaming, I play some more D4. So we do D4 all the time. So I'm pretty excited to hop into this insane season. Welcome to the Barb Nation.
I'm Ruse, but most people know me from the Goblin Inc. YouTube channel. And I'm the Necro class lead for Mobalytics. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for the season. Should be fun. A lot of cool Necro stuff. Minions in particular, pretty exciting. Couple new Blood Surge builds, a lot of cool stuff to look at. So pretty excited for the season.
I'm Sanctum. I do Rogue with Mippy for Mobalytics. I'm a bit of a trader though. I did Spiritborn when it launched. I'm doing Druid this season. So I shift around. Mostly Rogue. I love my rogues, And yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. I like that the Chaos Armors gives me something to farm, and there's a lot of build opportunities. A lot of different ways to build because of them. Pretty cool. I like it.
All right, that sounds really good. So I have a short agenda that we have for the podcast. At first, I want to talk about your overall impression for season 10. what do you like about the season, especially like chaos armors, perks, what interests you, what are you going to do in the season, right? And later, after we have that through, we're going to talk about the classes, what we think is going to be the top class, what's going to be the top build, and how, our tier list. Rob has an own tier list as well. We can talk about that too. And also our expectations for what builds are going to perform and what do we recommend for people to play, right? That's kind of what we're trying to look at here. All right, so this time we're going to start with Sanctum, and then we're going to go to Rob, then Cliptus, and then Roos. So what does excite you about Season 10 Sanctum?
What excites me? I mean, honestly, I just like the Chaos Armor system. I like that. I mean, the only thing I would say I would hold against it is that hordes become too easy a bit too fast. But other than that, I like that there's something further, It's like before, you got your legendaries, 2 GA, maybe if you farmed a lot, 3 GA, but that's kind of far away. You get your mythics, you're done. That's it. Unless you're like Rob, you're a machine, you play every class, every build, then you're kind of over, It's over for you. So the Chaos Armor is send that period a bit further, So I'm just looking forward to that.
Sounds great, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly like looking forward to. Oh, you want to keep going?
No. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, so I'm looking forward to playing all the classes, but like I said earlier, I also think the power creep or the power level is extremely high. And I think if you play quite a bit, you're gonna run out of endgame content to do relatively fast. Because I'm kind of expecting the first classes like Spiritborn, Sorcerer, they're probably gonna crush T4 in 6-7 hours or something like that from the launch because the power level is just extremely high. And where do you go from there in the end? You play some more pits. But I just wish that there would be more endgame content, long term with this level of power creep. I really like that they didn't completely destroy the pulverized druid or the Hydra Sorc or the ball lightning Sorc and stuff like that. So they didn't really nerf anything. And I like to see that, but I would also love to see some more endgame content in some way. That being said, however, I think this is the perfect season to just try the build that you've never played or that was maybe even never viable. Because with those chaos perks, I think every build is gonna basically just crush T4 and everything works because there's not really any point or any incentive or any reward to do high pits apart from some community friendly competition. So just play whatever build you always wanted to play and just have some fun on it. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting just to kind of bounce off that a bit. It's interesting what you say about there's not much to do other than pits, but what's interesting is all the tier lists and stuff have always been based around pit tiers. But like you said, pit tier pushing isn't the most interesting thing. So it's interesting, it's something we've been discussing about a lot of MOBAs, whether or not the tier list should be entirely just pits or if we should include T1 to 4 progression, but like you said, the season's a lot easier, so it's a weird problem.
Yeah, we've seen that on Maxwell, for example. They changed their tier list metric a little bit. They have now an overall game tier list where they have sort of author recommendations. It's kind of a cool system. I've been always wanting to do that back then as well, so it's kind of cool that they did it now. But yeah, definitely, as Roos said, something that we, as the game evolves and the seasons evolve, is something that you keep in mind for sure.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's a good thing not to focus only on pits in the end because, most people don't really care if they can do pit 105 or pit 110 or pit 115. Right. It's the same thing. They just want to have a fun and nice build. So I think there's so good that there's so many different creators, people out there that have different metrics and their own ideas of how they value, and how much they weigh each of the points in the tier list. And it's just good to see a good variety of all those different builds now being possible. And basically you just want to log in, we're going to play some video games and we just want to have some fun, and some fun doesn't mean you need to clear pit 120. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like I said, as soon as you get the glyphs up to 100, right? It doesn't really matter how fast you do 110 or 105. Maybe a little bit for XP farming, right? If you want to get Paragon 300. But other than that, it's kind of whatever, right?
Yeah, but it's for that. If you want to farm XP, I mean, you can just play pit 69 or something.
It's not that big of a difference.
Or you can play Lightning Spear. You just go 59. You play Lightning Spear. You're probably gonna be faster than that guy that clears pit 100 in 3 minutes. You're still gonna be faster than doing 59. Yeah.
So let's say you can do 89 at the same time though, right? That's kind of interesting if you actually could do that.
Yeah, sure, but it's gonna be hard to beat a Lightning Spear sorcerer speed farming in an 89.
Yep. Maybe Death Trap can do it. Who knows? Anyway,
So
clip this. What do you think?
Um, I'm pretty excited, honestly. I love playing off-meta builds. My absolute favorite thing to do, and this season just allows those to shine. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of different power creep, like Rob was saying, that it's gonna affect all of the builds that everybody's like, oh man, I wish we could play this build. I wish we could play this build. All those builds are gonna be available. I have fun in every single Diablo 4 season that we play. I haven't had a bad season personally. I just really love playing the game, so I'm very excited to get in. I think my favorite build coming out of the PTR was actually a pure brawling build. It's not the strongest build, but it just was like this crazy smashing barbarian build. So I'm very excited to like explore that, play every single build that I possibly can, get a lot of builds out for people, because it's going to be a very, very fun season.
One thing I wanted to say, if you guys want to have the overlay too, you can literally just open my stream and restream my stream instead of the Discord call.
Good idea.
the only problem with that
Then
is you're gonna have a delay, so it doesn't match the like when you talk, it doesn't match your your mouth.
That
when
is
it's
true,
moving and
but
stuff. So
I mean,
I feel like this.
Check it out.
however you feel like, right? The delay should be very short, but anyway, I do see the issue. Right. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you guys are looking forward to the season. I'm like, it's so good to see. Like, I mean, we're 10 seasons into Diablo 4, right? And there's still passion going from many of you guys, and I also feel the same. I personally am looking forward to farming the Chaos Uniques as well, and getting like the perfect 2 GA of the Beastful boots that I need, and then like maybe Scoundrel's Leathers with like the right GAs everywhere. It's gonna be a fun hunt. It gives us something to do, which I think is a good thing. I do like that they're not tradable. That way you can, have a good time on that one and try to blast some hordes with the friends, especially, and then just hang out and, progress your character a little bit. Is a good thing. Because last season, I mean, what did we do after we got to T4? We kind of only ran pits in a group and then, went to Belial and occasionally run Undercity if we needed like Opticide or something. But that was
running 1,000 the Belials with duped maps. That's not fun.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there's still going to be duped maps in season 10. Honestly,
You're cautiously optimistic, man.
Yeah,
Hopefully
me
after
too.
every season
I'm
they figure it out.
optimistic.
We'll see.
Like, I
We'll
don't want
see.
dupes again. Like day one, thousands of Duriel mods, man. Please no.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but let's talk about this. Like, how do you think is the game going to be if there's no dupes? Like,
It's going to change a lot.
what's going to change? Yeah.
People won't have
So-
access to unlimited uniques, so the unique pool is going to be very, very small. There's trading would take a hit for sure. Things are going to be more valuable because they'll be more rare. So I think that it would change like the landscape of the game completely. It would slow everything down by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think having
Absolutely.
dupes or not this season doesn't really like change all that much, because like if you go through your builds, like how many uniques do you really have in your builds anymore? Because everything is chaos armor and those are not tradable anyways. So I think they did a good job, like not talking about the dupes directly.
That's true.
But they did a good job like solving the Belial jail with the chaos armor, because you don't go Belial to farm chaos armor, and only early
That's
on.
true.
Okay, Belial early on is going to be very good, but later on, like in the end game builds, you want to have the chaos powers. And in most of my builds, maybe I play one unique. A lot of them have 0 uniques because they're just in the chaos armor anyways, which you can't get from Belial. So if there's dupes or not, like we're not gonna like farm that much Belial anymore, and I think that's a really good thing for the game.
I think one of the major things from duping is the gold dupes. I think a lot of times, because like we interact with trade and stuff, we don't really get a good feeling for like what actual.
Thanks everybody for
gold
the
would
follows
look like
today.
without dupes.
Appreciate it.
Like on day 2, when you sell an item that you got for 90 billion gold, you're pretty much like usurping that entire system. But I think if there's actually no dupes, I think the thing that's going to change the most is how much of a bottleneck gold is. I think in general people don't realize like how hard it is to do anything without infinite gold.
Yeah, like specifically gold is actually not duped, but gold is basically generated by selling duped items, right, to the vendor.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
how gold
Well,
dupes
it's
work.
yeah.
So, as far as I've been told from people I talked to, so hopefully that's fixed. If that's fixed, that kind of changes the landscape of the game, as Cliptus has said.
Yeah, it'll slow down a lot, I think.
I think, I
so-
think
so
if,
at least-
if the chests and infernal hordes that grant gold actually granted like 10 times as much, then maybe we can have good access to gold. But other than that, do you guys feel like you want to do whispers to get gold?
Oh no.
Maybe you're gonna
Here for
start
it.
selling your items instead of salvaging everything to get gold. I mean, like if you can farm some bosses and sell the uniques that you find instead of salvage them, what we do right now, like that's a good. I think that was the best gold income, even like in comparison to hordes. But anyways, we're gonna have to do many hordes, and at some point we don't need any more Optic. So yeah, I think gold is gonna be fine
Oh,
if you play a lot. But
that's actually fair because you're going to be doing so many hordes for chaos uniques. So you're going to,
yeah.
that's a good
I'm also
point.
really interested. Do you guys think I've tried this on the PTR? Because like basically the hordes itself is not so efficient, right? You really want to just kill Bartok all the time. So do you think that people are going to be farming 6-wave Infernal Hordes instead of like 10 waves once? If on average, or if in most 6-wave runs, you would get 666 ethers, I could see that being potentially more efficient than just doing the 10 waves hordes.
I would say the best way is probably 8 waves, honestly. Oh, sorry, Cliptus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
all the
no,
good
yeah,
ones,
no,
yeah.
that's. I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, I don't know if 6 because you're risking that run not succeeding if you get the wrong thing. So
And you kind of also want to open at least the material chest in some capacity, right? Even if it's just like 100 Aether or something, you just want to have something left to open the chest to get like at least a little bit of upside as well. Because we will be naturally farming Bartok a lot in the season. So if we can go slightly higher, like maybe 8 or potentially even 10, right? If it's worth to just go 10 just to get like this extra Opticite bump and gems and whatever else the chest drops, it might actually be worth it. Or even if you just want to get some gold, right? You can just do 10 waves and spend the remaining stuff on gold or materials. I think there's very little merit to going 6 waves, to be very fair. I guess that's only a thing if you really want to pump out Opticite. But I think 8 or 10 waves is probably the way to go. There was actually a question.
That sounds super interesting as well, because then all the horde keys matters. Like in the start, when you're not that powerful, maybe you want to more focus on the 10 waves to make sure you get that 666 ether. And then in the end, when you're like really strong, maybe you still want to do 8 wave. Maybe you can do 6 waves. We'll see. It's gonna be good to have all the keys usable.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I did a bunch of testing when we got there, and I recorded some of the numbers. And an average 10 wave, I was getting about 9,000 Opticite to 10,000 Opticite total, and that included opening the chests and stuff. So I don't know. We'll have to see how much it scales with the new season and what we can do with the crazy classes. But
yeah, that's a ton. But I think that was also like, so that's PTR numbers, and they did reduce or half the amount of chaos waves. So instead of like 5 chaos waves, we're gonna get like 2, I think, in the 10 wave.
Yeah, it was.
So I
2.
get that number, like, because the chaos waves were really where it was at getting the ether, right? But I'm really excited also to see like what the Soul Spire is gonna do. Like I think the base used to be 1 ether per Soul Spire, and now it's 5. So they're like 5 exits. Maybe that's the new meta, man. Like that could be
maybe
good.
just stacking Soul Spires is gonna be good. I mean, for Death Trap, it's
Soul
cool.
Spires
You know,
but that's fun, dude.
That's what
I
everybody
hate
wants to hear. Stacking Soul
I will
Spires is
say
gonna be good.
on Soul Spire, it is rough on Necro, bro. Like if you don't have a jaw rune, trying to hustle your butt over there.
I think the issue with these kind of things is like it's a design problem, right? It's they Soul Spires are not fun, right? But they try to make them played by increasing the rewards, which I think is a little bit backwards. I would love it to be more like, hey, we have this mechanic, it isn't fun. Instead of just increasing the rewards, let's make the actual mechanic fun, or like let's change the mechanic to be something that's more enjoyable to do. It's kind of similar to other activities that we have in the game, like Dark Citadel, for example, is a thing. Would you guys run that if it had better rewards?
Well, yeah. Imagine if you did Dark Citadel, you get like a Mythic Spark or something, then people would for sure do it. But yeah, no, like the reward balance in general in this game is very swingy. Like it's a lot of times like there's either like a lot of resources in this game, like in your inventory, like right now, like gold is practically an infinite resource, whereas like Opticite is very limited, and then there's a million random materials and stuff. Half of them you have so many of them you don't even know they exist, and then some of them are just there's usually like 1 or 2 for each type of crafting. That's such a massive bottleneck. It's like the main thing, and so like a lot of this balance I think is kind of whack in general for rewards.
I actually really like the Dark Citadel, and when it first launched, it was actually really great for getting 2 to 3 GA gear. And we would, because it reset on just a couple day timer, we would just play every single character that we had in that timer, and just to farm 2 and 3 GA, because the final rewards are actually pretty decent. And when it first launched, there wasn't all of these ways, like the guarantee greater affix chest from your reputation boards and stuff like that. There was a lot less ways to get guaranteed greater affixes, so that was a really good farm in the very beginning and when it first launched.
That's crazy. I didn't know that farm. That's nuts. Never heard of that.
By the way,
Yeah,
for the audio issue, someone just pointed me. If you restream the stream and mute yourself, then there's no delay.
The tricks in the books. I'm good like this. But yeah, nice.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, we can try it. We can
Just
try it
saying.
next time. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good point about Dark Citadel, honestly. I personally think, like, the few times I played it, right, I think it was pretty fun, but it's very long for like how short spanned most of the content in D4 is. Dark Citadel is like a big outlier because you spend quite significant amount of time in the wings, and the whole run takes you, like, even if you're experienced, it does take you like 20 to 25 minutes, give or take, which is a little bit longer than most of the activities in the game. And specifically, like, unless you're pit pushing, which is like goes up to 15 minutes, right? You're usually spending something between 2 and maybe 5 minutes on an activity, usually. Like, if you think about doing a whisper run, maybe that's a little bit longer, but like a nightmare dungeon takes like 2 minutes, a pit run takes 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how much you do. And even Undercity is quite fast, so like one boss run. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But yeah, it would be
There
nice to
was a
see
question
them
in
updated
chat.
a little bit. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. There was a question in chat where people asked, like, how is it going to feel like for the guys who played PoE to go back from PoE instant buyouts to D4 trade?
It's not. There's we keep it positive, okay? D4 is a great game. Very excited to come back. A lot of good options. Chaos Armor's changed a lot. The trade is great. You know, economy is very good. So.
I mean, at least having a
Really?
currency exchange of some sort in Diablo, like that would be like so good. Like no one is asking for like a full marketplace right away or like an
No.
auction house or whatever, right? Like just like a basic, simple system. Like I don't know, for like the boss materials, like make gold the currency, whatever. Have like a fee or something. I feel that would be like not super difficult to do, like from what I could tell, but. I think the game needs it at some point, especially if we want to like keep focus on trading. But right now, this season, obviously with the Chaos Uniques not being tradable, it's not really that big a deal because I think there's going to be a lot less trading than usual because like half your gear, more than half your gear is account bound. Maybe you have like 1 or 2 mythics and then you have 5 Chaos armors in a lot of builds, or like at least like 3 or 4. And yeah, it's not going to be that big an issue. But yeah, I think PoE's solution is great, and I'll definitely deal with it. It also felt so good, like when you went to bed and then you wake up the next day, and then you have like all this like
and you have money.
like 10
Yeah,
divine orbs, 100 chaos orbs just coming in while you sleep, man. That felt so good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's all. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
I feel
to be fair, there's not a PoE podcast, but I have to say PoE knocked it out of park with instant buyout and the new trade system. It's really great.
It did.
But yeah,
I feel
D4
like the
maybe
future for
can get something
D4
like this in the future. Who knows? Right?
I feel like the
Who
future's
knows?
more
Thanks for the follow.
SSF personally.
Thank you.
think that
Yeah.
I think the economy in
D4.
D4 is too difficult. Like it's very hard to like retroactively design an economy for trade because in my opinion the D4 economy is not very conducive to trade. So rather than going the route
point.
of like making trade better, I would much rather they go a route of like SSF essentially, or like some light version of SSF. I don't know what it would look like exactly,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
Yeah,
I see where
absolutely.
you're coming from, but the economy in D4 is just so bad because we had dupes for 10 seasons, and like there was no economy.
So
It was
many
all
seasons, yeah.
instantly, in my
100%
opinion, and-
that's true.
He's
100%.
We
right.
don't even know what it
If you-
looks like, you know?
Yeah, but I think Roos
Yeah.
is actually right. Like if let's say dupes are fixed, right? The economy tends to trend much more into SF because so many things are actually account bound as well. Like, and I think it would actually work quite well in a game like D4, honestly.
Especially with the
Oh yeah, I would love
leaderboards.
SSF. I would love it.
If there was SSF, I think the leaderboards would be 100 times more fun.
Oh yeah, for leaderboards for sure. That's a nice laugh. Think they want dupes again. Hey, we can hope. Okay, let's we gotta keep up the positive spirit, right? Right?
Gotta have some copium, some hopium, you know? It's gonna happen.
yeah.
Okay.
It'll be a big
Honestly
step. If there's
optimistic.
actually no dupes, it's a big step. Like it would bump the game up a whole tier. I
For
think.
me, it's always like I believe it when I see it. You know, like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they
I
do
believe
it,
it when I
people
see
are
it.
not throwing thousands of
You don't-
Belial mats around. Like I'm happy.
You know,
I mean, to be fair,
Rob-
they've been duping since what, D2, D1, I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not like
true. But
this.
I mean, there's dupes in other games as well. It's just like
Oh yeah, no, it's
2
everywhere.
years, man.
Yeah,
We're
it's
10
everywhere.
seasons in. We still have
Yeah.
dupes every season. Like that can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if
it
leaderboards
happens
were only
occasionally in
SSF?
other games,
That'd
but
be good.
I've never seen a game where it's as
Yeah, but they fixed it
omnipresent.
very fast. For example, like if you like we're talking about
true.
PoE, like when they had the dupe in PoE around Christmas, like they fixed it like within a week, and that was around Christmas, right?
Mhm. And they
It was like with the
mass bans
Temporalis
went
thing,
out
right?
and
Yeah,
other
Temporaris
things.
is dupe. Yeah, I mean, it was it's basically like an Enigma dupe or something. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So we're looking at that, and I think it's actually pretty cool. Good stuff coming. So I wanna take the discussion into a slightly different direction. We talked about dupes, we talked about expectations for the season. Now let's talk about the nitty gritty of the season, the stuff that people interest most. What do you think is the best class in season 10? Before you throw in anything, chat, what do you think is the best class in season 10? And then we can take it away and have let's actually start. Okay, let's actually start with Clip this, because he's been grinning immediately when I asked it.
Barb.
I mean, it goes without saying. I can't get away from the barbarian, and not just because like they definitely won't have the highest pushing build in the season. That's definitely not going to happen. But I had 16 different builds on the PTR Clear Pit 100. It's huge. It's diverse. You can play pretty much any skill that you want to play. And it's going to be exactly what you want to do. Like it's going to be strong. It's going to be. We have some fast builds. We have some brawler builds. I'm looking forward to big bonks, trillions of damage. I'm looking forward to it. So I mean, for me, Varb Nation. That's where we're going with this.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
man, I wish it was be Bob, man. Like in my opinion, like, if I had to rank the worst class, it would probably be Bob or Rogue. But you know, like like in terms of like like pit pushing, not in terms of fun or anything, right? This is like when you say strongest, you mean like the highest damage, the highest pit, right? Maybe.
Yeah, let's talk about strongest first,
Okay,
and then we
alright,
talk
yeah.
about most
Yeah,
fun.
different conversation. But I'm just
In terms of strongest, I think it's gonna be between the Bob and the Rogue. Which one is gonna take the last place? I'm not so sure. Because Mighty Throw still exists. I personally don't like Mighty Throw. It's okay for the people that play it, but the 12-second rotation range build, that's to me like not the true, identity of the buff. I want to be like in the monster's faces, swimming my weapons, and not play some stupid like 12-second range build. So since Mighty Throw is still so strong, even though with the nerf, I think it's gonna probably still end up being the strongest. And I don't like it. That's why I didn't rank it that high. I think the build is like not cool.
It's
and that's
not
why
fun.
I think like
It's
Bob
not.
is probably going to be like on the last place in terms of high pits. And if you want to go really high, then you must play Mighty Throw again, probably. We'll see. There's some potential with like some bleed stuff or some basic stuff. But I think Mighty Throw is going to take the W there. And then I think the real match is going to be in terms of strongest between Spiritborn and Druid. And to me, it's actually insane that they didn't nerf like the Druid at all. Like the pulverized Druid. I don't know if any one of you did the math, but it looks like the pulverized Druid get like, I don't know, like 10, 20x or something from what it is right now in the live season. And that's just completely wild. And Spiritborn also gets crazy. I did not expect, and I think it's also overkill to buff the Spiritborn Paragons. Like, I think it didn't need the buffs. Rogue really needed the buff to the Paragon, but I was so surprised. I was like, sure, they're going to nerf some stuff on Spiritborn, but they buffed it instead.
They did so many buffs on the Spirit board.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
like the Paragon nodes are like way over the top. And I'm secretly hoping that they fully nerf Jaguar main hall double dipping. Like they definitely nerfed the planes power like they said in the patch notes. Maybe they changed the other stuff, because then I could see Druid win over Spiritborn, but I believe it when I see it. So I'm under the impression they didn't nerf the rest of the Jaguar double dipping. So Spiritborn is probably going to do the highest pit, and the Druid's going to be right behind that. But legit, no bugs, probably the Druid would win.
Yeah, Rob, you see the jacket, right? A lot of the stuff is I believe it when I see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I think Rob pretty much nailed it. It's just gonna be Druid or Spiritborn. It's gonna come down to like a couple pit tiers, so that's very likely what the outcome's gonna be for strongest.
So one question
will be
there, like, what do you
right in
think
the
is the Druid gonna do? How high pit, like roughly, like your estimate?
That'd be a better question for Sanctum. Ask
No, Sanctum. Yeah.
Well, it depends. So I was calculating the pull druid to like 50-ish trillion DPS. So it's that like
Holy shit.
over one. That's one over 130 for sure, right?
100?
That's definitely out of scope
trillion?
for Rogue.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's assuming
Very
everything's up,
normal.
right? In real terms, it's more like 100 something, you know. But I mean, that's a stupid amount of DPS.
Yeah, so it's like that's like a I think like a 10, 20x from what it is right now. But because people like have a
Yeah.
reference point of how strong it is right now. I did like 150, 117 or something, right? They like roughly know
Yeah,
how
it's
strong it feels
probably
right
around that.
now.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
at
it's
least
probably
add a
like
zero to
20.
it, and that's just crazy. Oh man,
That's pretty good,
That's so
honestly.
the druid's
I
gonna
would-
smash, guys.
I would love to add a 0 to all Rogue builds, and we still would be the worst class in terms of hit pushing, but that's fine.
Yeah. If you add a 0
Like,
to Evan Piercer, maybe we'd be competitive, or to Shadow Blight rather.
Like-
but other than that,
I made this screenshot. I don't know. I shared this at some point where I had like the Rogue rank, like the helltides.com leaderboard, right? And all the seasons next to each other. And
Oh,
then like
yeah.
Rogue was like 5 seasons in a row. Rogue was like last.
well, here's the thing about this game that's weird. So
Thanks
like
for the
because like
follow.
pit leaderboards are one thing, and then there's the whole rest of the game. And Necro has been like the worst class for like everything up until Vessel of Hatred, because it's such a bad farming class. It's so slow compared to everything. But it was always good at pit pushing. But dude, those seasons where like Necro was bad at pit pushing and like the class can't move and the AoE sucks, like there's some rough seasons with Necro. At least Rogue
That is
always has
rough.
the speed, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogue is
Even
always
if
Hey.
you can't pit clear.
We got the buffs now, so maybe we're not last. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy to see the rogue stuff. I was like, finally, like the rogue gets some love to the passives. So that was like really needed. And you know, Cliptis, like if you ever want to try another class, you can just play druid and pretend to be like a Hodor Barb and just play pulverize. It's like it feels the same, man. Like it's just like, you know, an extra 0. Like no matter what you do on the bar, like it's just a 10x multiplier if you go on druid. Like there's no
I played-
point. Like, in this.
I did play
That's so
Pulverize this
good.
season.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
How did you like
yeah.
it?
I love it, and I've actually played every single class, and I've played a lot of different builds on a lot of different classes.
Oh, nice.
So I really enjoy. I've hopped onto every single class, and every single class that I've hopped onto, I'm like, man, this is so much fun. So I haven't played a bad
yeah.
class. So they're all great, but I always just end up going back to the barbarian. And it's just I just have just the most fun on that class. But I've played them all, and I'm looking forward to hopefully with the chaos armor being able to get into some of the other classes a little bit faster than I normally do. And I think we're going to get a long season. So if we get a long season, then I will 100% be on. I love Ball Lightning. Absolutely love Ball Lightning. So I'm looking forward to some Ball Lightning Sork this season too.
Hell yeah.
That's
Okay,
great.
You know what's crazy
honestly.
about Rogue and Druid? The worst aspects for Druid are the best aspects for Rogue. Isn't that crazy?
It's
How
the
is that
same for
possible,
Bob,
dude?
yeah.
It's so crazy, man. Like I'm out here using a
Thank you for the
30%
follow, everybody.
aspect on Rogue and being happy about it, and then I go to Druid and like my worst aspect is like 80%.
Dude,
It makes sense.
exactly. It's so crazy.
That is
Jeez.
that's definitely rough.
Like you have like an option to go Starless Guy on Druid, and it's like, meh, nah, I don't need it. I have way
Yeah, it's
stronger.
like,
aspects in
it's
my
okay.
legendary.
Yeah,
like,
it's okay.
Mythic, you know, like I'm just
Yeah.
gonna take this ATX, get a
And you're
temper on it too.
you're on Rogue, you're like, how can I fit Starless into this build?
Yeah,
I'm not
then you
even
have like
spending
Farm and
energy,
Rogue
but
that's
can I
really,
do
like,
it?
Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, honestly. Yeah.
And then the uniques, dude. The uniques on Druid are wow. Like the pulverized unique is how much damage even is that? It's like Rogue has nothing
Too
like
much.
that. Not even
Too
close.
much damage.
Yeah, the Rotting Lightbringer
Yeah.
alone, it's like a full build, man. It's like 100x of
So-
overall.
Yeah. I don't know how it
The
is
thing
on
is,
other
they
classes.
usually do a lot of balance changes and stuff based on play rate. Is something I've like noticed over the years. Like if there's a necro build that's really strong but no one's playing it, it'll keep getting buffed until people start playing it. I feel like that's what's happened with all of Druid. Is like Druid's popularity has plummeted. A lot of it, people I think went to Spiritborn and whatnot, and then now they've just buffed Druid and buffed Druid and buffed Druid, and now it's to the point where people are gonna play it again because it's so freaking insane.
The numbers are just so ridiculous on Druid. The
Yeah.
only really problem is it's still kind of slow if you compare it to like a Sork or Spiritborn or Rogue in a way, because you just have to move, right? I mean, yeah, you have
Yeah.
Jarun, but you're still walking.
We're all so Necro
Oh
and
wait,
Druid,
not
man,
the
we're just
build I'm gonna
always-
play. Not the build I'm gonna play. I'm gonna
Okay,
spread it
there's the
around.
secrets. Okay, what is it? Spill the tea.
So I was doing some theory crafting on Boulder. Boulder actually has some nasty DPS, like around 40, 50 trillion. And then you can just
Dang.
shred around because you boulder while you move, you get it up, and then you just shred around and you jaw, and it should be pretty fast.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like a build out.
Yeah, actually, me
nice.
too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
I
to see
love
that.
Shred. Shred is
Gee,
super
yeah,
fun to
Shred was
play.
so
Yeah.
epic in season 2. Let's go.
Season 2, Blurred Beast was where it was at. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
Druid login. Dang.
Look in, dude.
Yeah, Boulder Shred. That sounds amazing.
So
I actually hadn't played Druid in 9 seasons since game launched.
Wow.
Basically,
that's pretty good.
so pretty
I mean,
excited.
The return of the druid.
The return of the father.
back then, wasn't your Discord title like Sanctum God of Mud or something?
Yeah, something like that, dude. I actually found my sheet calculating Stormwolf DPS, like we're NATO, and back then I was happy to do 5 million DPS. 5 million. 5 million. Now we're doing trillions.
Power creep.
Yeah,
damage
Yeah,
is
the
insane.
power
I mean,
creep has just gone through the roof.
I'm not gonna lie, after looking at Necro stuff and then hearing all the numbers you guys are throwing around, I'm getting a little bummed out. Okay, like
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
also there was something some stuff on the. I mean, obviously every PTR clay also had the double passive from Shroud, but wasn't there Necro had some extra damage buck with Soul Rift or something? Because I saw some crazy clears. There was 123 or something on Necro, right?
as far as I know, that's still going to be the case. That it'll still be 123 for Shadow Blight. So well, okay. Hopefully, me saying this doesn't get it brought up, but Soul Rift is supposed to be capped at 10. Essentially, you're able to, using the Chaos Power, stack Soul Rift over and over and over again. So it's able to do an insane amount of instances of damage per second for proccing Shadow Blight. And essentially, without getting into detail, this just scales the damage insane. But it's supposed to be capped at 10. However, currently it's not capped. So basically, the more attack speed that you can get, the more you can stack it, which exponentially increases your damage. So we'll see. Some people are trying to bring it to their attention, but we're trying to keep it on the DL. You know,
Nice.
We'll see if it.
Nah, the Necro deserves it, man. It's still not gonna be it's still not gonna be the top dog. So
no, it's still only 123.
Just let them have it.
We don't. Let us keep it. Let us keep it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Soul Rift overall looks very good for farming as well, right? I saw some horde runs with it and pretty much everything. It's a very good build.
It's a fantastic farmer because you're essentially able to, especially for hordes, because you're able to basically pre-cast all of your soul rifts out all over the whole screen, and then the second stuff spawns, it dies instantly. And so you're able to basically fill the arena with insta-kill stuff and just instantly kill. It's going to be one of Necro's best horde builds that we've had. So
cool.
We got that
That's
going for
really
us,
nice.
okay? And hopefully we get a 123 pit around there, which should be our cap. So it's pretty good. The other thing, one thing I haven't mentioned yet that's really cool is the Necro Chaos Power, where it flips particularly the one that flips your core skills into ultimate skills. There's some insane stuff we've been cooking with that. There's some pretty wild setups you can do. So
I do like what they did with the perks, where it just changes around the way that a lot of the skills and stuff work. And I think it was pretty cool, except for the barbarian one, but all of the other ones look pretty cool.
It's the coolest seasonal power, I think.
The rogue ones are pretty bland too.
Gotcha.
honestly.
Okay.
The Necro ones are
The
pretty
druid ones are
decent.
really cool. Yeah, the druid ones too. The rogue ones are kind of boring.
I mean, the thing is, Rogue has bad uniques in general. There's no really, really good unique in Rogue, other than obviously Scoundrel's Letters and Beastful Boots, but that's endemic to Death Trap as a build, right? But outside of that, the uniques are quite low in power comparatively. So the chaos stuff doesn't do much for other builds. But it's kind of interesting. It's good that they did buff the chaos perks for Rogue, though. Specifically, the core skill one is very good because it benefits multiple builds.
How does it work?
Yeah, but it's just damage, though. It's just damage.
It's literally just damage. So before, it was your core, all the core skills had has a chance to hit twice, right? But you do cap out hit twice anyway in any competent build because, well, there's not much else to pick really on the weapon to temper, right?
Right.
And then then we gave feedback about it, and it's hey guys, this is kind of does nothing, right? So maybe we can get something cool, something else, right? A few suggestions here and there, and then they were oh yeah, you're just gonna slap a 2.5x multiplier there and call it a day.
Too complicated, just double it.
It's fine, right? I'm not complaining. But it's better like that than to get the build nerfed again, right?
On one or two of those powers, because Clift is you said, the Barb's power, I put 2 of them as Beast Court and Merit Guard, and then I'm
that's it.
All the other, they all suck. I need to pick 2 of them, and which one gives me something,
Yeah,
There's a lot of necro builds that are like that. Like the default is just
Yeah.
that combo. Like, yeah.
see, at least you can use your unique, because the unique chaos perk for the barbs you can't use.
Yeah, they needed to slap like at least a 10x multiplier on there. Like even
Yeah.
just if you just run like the basic number, it needs to have like a 10x, and it had like a 3 or 4x, and now it has like a 5 or 6x. So it's
Yeah,
like still
yeah.
like
It's,
you don't want to give up like 3 weapons to use this power.
no,
so
you just
stupid.
can't do it. It just doesn't work.
Like it just needs like some basic number. It needs like at least a 10x, else like you're never gonna use this.
Yeah.
So yeah, sad.
Balance tend to vary between completely broken and unusable. There's not a lot of things in between.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually. Like sometimes, like some of the perks seem so good, and then we have some perks where you're like, okay, but does it really do anything, right?
Yeah.
Like the chaos burst thing. Did anyone of you guys craft a build around the chaos bursts? Like trying to scale chaos
I
burst
didn't even try,
damage?
dude. No,
It's
I knew it
hopeless.
was not gonna work. I knew it
There's
was not
some
gonna work.
necro stuff. That's all I'll say. There's some necro stuff.
Okay.
Work in progress. But we
Okay, okay.
we can do some funny things with it. But I don't know how good it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
But
I like your hopium. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe for
absolutely.
D4
Really.
I
farming,
respect
you
it.
could make a build around that. That could be pretty fun.
Yeah,
for
that's-
D4, yeah.
farming, speed, something like that. But like for high numbers, I feel like whenever this is like, I call it like environmental damage, like damage that's not coming from your character, but from some like proc of the season. We had this a lot in D3 as well, and obviously early on in D4 as well. And I think like this is like really hard to balance though, because either it's a build that does like really good damage, or it's like basically unusable, like maybe with the exception of early game or
Yeah.
something. So
100%.
I also don't really like want necessarily to have like a proc do like, you know, the craziest amount of
No.
damage. So I'm okay with
It's
this.
a very binary system, and I've gave this feedback a lot of times as well, where it's like either it's good enough so it overshadows all your skills and this is going to be your main damage driver, or it's not as good as your skills and you'll never use it because of how multiplicative damage scaling in D4 works, right? We kind of want one source to be our main damage and we scale all of our multipliers into it, and then this is going to be our damage. Like we don't have this thing in D4 yet where we have multiple damage sources. Like for example, a dual core skill build is really not a thing, because you're for those of you guys who play Dungeons and Dragons, in Dungeons and Dragons, you kind of don't want to split your attributes. Like you don't want a character that's into strength and dexterity all together. You kind of want to focus on one thing, and it's called going mad because it's multi-attribute dependent. So you don't
Yeah.
want to go mad in D4 as well. So you just want to put all the eggs in one basket, essentially.
In order for it to work, you'd have to design the game from the ground up to function where you can have multiple different things do damage. Like, you know, the
Yeah.
game that shall not be named, for instance. But yeah, they would have to really rework like a lot of fundamental stuff in that before.
PoE does not solve that either. Let's be real though. It mostly devolves
It does a
into
better.
spamming
It,
one
it
skill.
does a better job though.
Yeah, but sort of.
Like
Well, I just see, like, in PoE, there's like 60% of people playing Deadeye Lightning Spear, Lightning Arrow or something.
True.
Right? Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know.
But then again, for bosses, you actually bust out the lightning rod, right? So
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Two buttons.
did you guys in D4 play a build recently where you had one skill specifically only equipped to kill the boss?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It doesn't really happen much in D4. Wait, what build?
mm,
We'll both
I
play that in
put
D4.
together in season 9 a lunging strike build that only used lunging strike. There was nothing else on the bar, 0, and it cleared pit 102.
Well, no, he's talking about like, so for
Oh,
example, like in PoE,
got-
you'll have
okay.
like a leap slam for AoE and then rolling slam for bossing type of thing.
Okay, I thought he said one skill on the bar. That was it. I just had a one skill build.
No. I just mean, did you have did you make a build where you specifically had one dead skill on the bar, which is only used when you actually wanted to kill the boss? For Rogue, that has never been a thing.
Yeah, I think historically in basically all the Diablo games, like even in D3, like this kind of like hybrid builds where you scale like 2 different skills damage, it never works. Like I don't think
No,
we've ever had
no.
that. You always like the meta is always, or the best way to build your character, most DPS is always you focus on one thing and you get every single multiplier that the game has to offer. That's literally like in the end all that matters. Like you just want to have the craziest multipliers, like the highest multiplier.
Yeah,
and that's
100%.
never been a hybrid build to my knowledge.
Yeah, speaking of D3, it's actually a good segue here because I wanted to have you guys talk about how do you think group play is going to change? Would you like to see more group play in D4? Like
I
in
would
D3,
love-
for example, we had
Yeah.
like different classes cover different roles. Like for for Greater Rift XP farming, we had like a trash killer, we had a boss killer, we had a support, and we had whatever else, right? And that's kind of the thing that we don't have in D4. Like we don't have classes do different roles. Everyone is just damage, right?
So I have extremely strong opinions about this. So I come from D3. I was like a bunch of rank 1 clears and whatnot, a bunch of different party sizes. I love D3. I'm also a big party play guy. You know, in PoE2, we did all the party play stuff and, you know, all that. And dude, D4, we tried so hard to make like party play work in D4, but the game is literally designed very intentionally that it's not good. So like, for example, in normal games, it's like you have a debuff that says monsters take 20% more damage. In D4, there's vulnerable. So once someone applies vulnerable, you can't keep applying more vulnerable. And you find this in a lot of cases, like barb shouts only have half duration on teammates. And so there's a lot of stuff where the game is really designed to not enable party play to pop off, which I think is really unfortunate.
Yeah,
Just
and
to
it's
chime
weird,
in
right?
just to chime in 1 second. But the thing is, do you think, also to the next question, would you think that with the activities we have in season 10, more focus on Infernal Hordes, which clearly are better in a group play because you have you share the keys, right? And the keys might be a little bit scarcer if there's no 10,000 Belial runs. And Undercity is also a thing, right? Where it's also better to run in the group. So
that's the
technically the
highest value
game
of group play,
wants
yeah.
group play, but the things that make group play good are not good, right?
I agree with you.
Sorry,
100%.
now go ahead.
Yeah, like the resource sharing and stuff really pushes you towards group play, but then the way the game is designed and balanced, it pushes you away. Like even just having 100% mob health scaling, you know, not even getting into like balance and stuff, but just the fact that every player adds 100% health to mobs immediately starts to get in the way of group play. But yeah, I agree with
Rob
you.
wants to say something.
Yeah, so I feel like D3, like you pointed out, like D3, I think like really hits the perfect balance, the way it is right now. Like not the way it used to be like 10 seasons ago, but the way it is right now. You have a strong incentive to go solo self-found. There's like a solo self-found mode. There's solo self-found leaderboard. You get the follower, the mercenary, which is like really strong, gives you a lot of buffs if you're playing alone, a lot of rewards. But it also at the same time has a lot of group incentives where it's like really beneficial to group up and play with your friends and have some fun together. Even if you don't really know the meta, like you just like play together and it like feels good. In D4, like if you group, it usually feels worse, right? And it's very weird because it's like an open world game and like grouping is like not really that crazy or like obviously like for XP farming and stuff it's OP, but like for the high push like, you just always do solo. Like for the challenging content, like group is not really a thing, let's say, in D4 in terms of efficiency. And I think it's like a really weird choice. I would really like to see, you know, like incentives to go both. Like there should be an incentive to play solo, like get some rewards and stuff. And there should also be like nice possible synergies to just play with your friends. Even if you just like don't follow meta, you just like casually group up and you play together and it's still gonna like work or feel good, you know? And that feeling is definitely missing. There's also like my all-time favorite build in D3 was the support ZDPS Barbarian, like basically like pulling together the monster, like exploring the map, having to make these like decisions in like split second, like when you spawn a pylon, when you block the pylon. There was like so many more strategic elements, especially to like the high content, which are completely missing, by the way, in the current pit system that we have, where like you just like, especially in a group, man, like okay, you clear the run, it works, and then you hit this boss and it's just like a damage sponge. It's like this DPS check. Like you can't beat this boss in 120 in a 4-player group because he just has like trillions and trillions of HP, and there's no way with some sort of like gameplay element, like play differently, do like something that maybe requires a little bit of skill or game knowledge. None of that even exists, right? Where in D3, you have the Stricken, you can keep a pylon for the boss, you can even spawn it with a pack using Nemesis bracers, you can make use of area damage on the boss, and D4 has nothing of that. So yeah, I think it's like actually like a pretty big missed opportunity to have the game good for solo self-found and also to have the game good and some actual synergies in group play.
Well, there's this one funny thing where in season 6 when Spiritborn launched, right? Rogue had this very fun support variant where you just equipped Umber Crocs and it actually just increased the Spiritborn's damage by whatever multipliers Rogue could stack on top of himself. So Rogue used like generic damage multipliers because they were bigger than the 20% that they would get from just having Spiritborn's damage echo from the totem. That was wild, but Spiritborn was already clearing 150, so it kind of wasn't a thing because, well, you couldn't go any faster than that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to see a lot more group play. It's something that I'd have been promoting since the game launched, is just trying to get more people to run together. But like you said, like it's either your one character clears the entire room and everybody else is just following around, or you're off running one direction while somebody else runs a different direction, and then the other person runs a different direction to get a clear faster. So it would definitely be cool to see a whole bunch of like support come into the game, people who needed to work together, class synergy working together. It would definitely be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you guys think would be the public sentiment? Let's say they made party play better with, like, let's say you could do a team comp, support, someone who. What do you think will be the public sentiment? Because in the past I've seen people not like when Blizzard tries to maybe not force but incentivize group play. Because maybe they feel left out, or I don't know. What do you guys think would be the reception for something like that?
I think there needs to be incentive. There basically should be incentive to do both. Like I said, like Diablo 3 does it really well. There's big incentive to play solo, but there's also a lot of incentive to play in the group, and both feels rewarding. While in D4, it's more like group play is rewarding, but only if you're getting carried or something, right? It's like Clipped is like you said, like one guy doing all the damage and you're just running behind feeling useless. That's not a good feeling. And we just want, like maybe the carrying needs to be nerfed a bit, like having the infinite XP range and stuff in the pits. Like maybe that's a bit much, and that needs to be maybe brought down a bit and balanced. And then at the same time, look at, the synergies that we have, maybe make the vertible stack, maybe make some, some more group synergies in general.
Mm. Yeah. I think it's a good point.
There's a common sentiment, like there's an idea that, if you let people play solo, they'll play solo. But if you want people to like really stick to a game and enjoy the game, you almost kind of make them play party. And a lot of people like complain about it, but oftentimes it like increases engagement. And like, even though people are vocal about it, they end up like the game ends up being more fun because you kind of have to party. But in general, there's a design philosophy in D3 that I very much agreed with, which was party play and group play should be similarly balanced, but party play should always be better. And so essentially what that means is you try not to let solo play get too far behind party play, but if one's going to be better, always pick party play to be more efficient. That way, like, you're never punished for playing with your friends.
I think the most important distinction to make there is if there's a solo self-found mode, for example, in the game, or however that would work, right? That would automatically give the people who want to play alone and don't want to feel negatively impacted by group play existing, have their mode where they can feel, experience the game on their own terms, in their own speed, without the interference of other people and everything. And then the people who want to play in the group, they can just choose the regular mode. And if they don't really care about the downsides of not playing in the group, then it's also fine, right? But if they really care about it, just go into the SSF mode, which would obviously also be a great thing for leaderboards, right?
Yeah. And in terms of like public perception, I think, like you said, Sanctum, it's very important to do both of those things at the same time, ideally. Like have a separate option to maybe have a solo self-found in some kind of way, but then also like, give some more synergies to the group. And if you do both of that, like D3 did it after a lot of patches, after a lot of years of content, I think D3 has finally arrived at a sweet spot. And if we can get that sweet spot, like in one of the next patches at some point for Diablo 4, I think that would be ideal, where we get both solo incentives and group incentives.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think that's the main thing that would revive leaderboards for sure. Like without SSF, I think leaderboards are pretty much always doomed in this game to be dominated by like RMT and whatnot.
I'm pretty curious to see what they do with leaderboards whenever they decide to introduce them.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean,
like
we
if
had
they
the
do
gauntlet,
official ones,
right?
Yeah, when they do official ones, yeah.
Which
By the
was
way,
liked by some, not liked by many.
And but would the
I personally enjoyed the
leaderboards really
gauntlet
be
a lot.
big difference if there was an SSF mode? Like, I mean, you had the solo ranking, you had the group ranking. Like, it wouldn't really like matter that much if you have like a solo self-found for that gauntlet, or if you have like a trade in the gauntlet for the solo leaderboard. It was not that crazy big a deal. But if it's like challenging content instead of like speed-focused content, then it's gonna be a big difference.
Yeah, huge
Look,
deal.
for when the gauntlet got introduced, it got introduced like a few weeks into the season. Everyone had time to farm up gear and prepare for it. Like I farmed basically the whole time to get like the perfect shrine duration maxed out amulet to play the gauntlet. And
Forgot about that.
if that happened like gauntlet released like immediately with the season and not being able to farm these items, RMT would straight up win, because shrine duration was like incredibly important in the gauntlet. And if you're even missing like if you were missing like 2% on the shrine duration, that would mean that you potentially could not reach a boss in time to get the double point bonus, right? So RMT and the Gauntlet, if it hadn't been released in the middle of season, would have been insane. Like insanely dominant.
The other thing though is back then, if I remember correctly, this was before the loot rework, right? When Gauntlet came out, and because it was much easier to get like perfect gear before the gear rework. But once they added in GAs and stuff, perfect gear is way harder to get than it was back then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
By the way, personally, what do you guys prefer more, party play or solo play? Like you personally.
I always play in groups. Every night I hop on, I just get groups going with people, and I just rotate through a whole bunch of groups. That's what I enjoy the most, and I've actually got convinced a lot of people that only play solo to hop into Discord, join up with everybody, and start running and playing together. They play longer, they enjoy it more, even with the way that Diablo 4 functions as a group play right now. It still extends people's gameplay, it extends their seasons. They find like new reasons to keep on playing. So I do it all the time. And I actually am a pretty big advocate for it, even with the flaws that it has right now.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I think gaming and life in general is more fun together, like when you share it with other people. Like playing all by myself, it can be fun, but then I can also just play single player if I like. For me, like Diablo, especially with the open world content, it's always been a group game. I loved playing in a group. I also like playing solo from time to time. It depends on the day. Yeah. But overall, if I'd have to choose, I'd always choose. It's an online game. We're on the internet. I would always engage with the community, play together with other people. Because like it's the internet age, we're connected, and I like it the most.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, like farming and stuff is way more fun in groups. Leveling, farming, prepping your character, all that stuff. But you know, when it comes to competitive content, I always prefer solo. But for everything else, group play is way more fun.
Yeah, I would agree. I think group play is great. I have my streaks where I feel like I don't want to play in groups. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, people just annoy me. I just want to play on my own, have a good time, you know. But then I guess that's something that everyone feels from time to time, right? But
that's never happened in our party. That's weird.
I guess it depends on the people. Right.
Yeah, it has happened for sure.
Yeah. So if you guys have watched the Diablo 4 developer update video that they released just before the live stream, where it was Bloodshed interviewing like a few of the developers, it was like Charles Dunn, it was Aislinn, he also had Dan Tangway on the line. They were talking about a few things that were coming up in season 10 and season 10 beyond. Specifically, he was talking with Dan Tangway about like leaderboards and, as we mentioned right now, and potentially a loot filter. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you like to see if leaderboards were coming? And after we discuss a little bit about leaderboards, we can move on to talk about loot filter. What do you think is going to be coming? Is there something cool? Or yeah. So Sanctum, you've been pushing leaderboards quite a bit, and the other guys as well. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm someone who grew up my whole life just playing competitive games, basically. I don't know why when I play like a single player game, let's say even a great one, it's like I play one day, I'm like, wow, this game's amazing. Then it comes the next day, I'm like, I don't even want to play anymore. You know, so it's just I like something about competition I really like, right? In online games and interaction. But the thing about, for example, pit pushing is it doesn't feel competitive to me. I don't feel like it's an actual competition. There's no real skill to it. I mean, there's some skill input, but for the most part, it's time invested, you know, into your character, and time invested into finding the right pit. And for me, the most important part about a leaderboard is that essentially you have to feel like your skill, like your something that's like intangible actually went into your placement, and not just, you know, like essentially an accounting of your time. That's basically all I want. I want a skill mode, and then I'm good. And then, you know, leaderboards,
so
amazing.
To that, by that metric, Gauntlet was pretty skill based, to be very fair. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, but not in a fun way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, let me explain actually, because to me, well, but this is a personal thing, right? I know a lot of people did find Gauntlet fun. Well, I don't know about it. I don't know if a lot, but some people did. To me, what I find fun in games, in let's say call them skilled games, is the second decision making, right? Like the split second decision making. that separates people. Like it's a bit like developing intuition. And for me, Gauntlet was not so much about that and more about perfecting a route. More like speed running. And I'm
And
not
then executing it.
most, and then executing it. Yeah, exactly. Which is not my idea of fun, but I know some people love that. So.
Gauntlet felt a lot like Mario Kart Time Attack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played like
Right.
just a couple runs of the Gauntlet, and it just felt like you just needed to build a fast character and get shrines, and that was it. And I would, if we were going to do something, because I don't ever really push leaderboards all too much. I don't have quite as much time, so I never really make that push. But I think I would want something where my character feels like I'm using the character to do whatever that leaderboard push is. The skill is coming straight from my character. I'm not just building it around a shrine or a mechanic or something like that. I want my character to be the one that is going to be doing all of that pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. Roos and Rob, what do you guys think?
I guess I'll go first. All I ever wanted D4 to be was D3 with more stuff, and specifically what I mean by that is G-Riffs. I love G-Riffs. I think G-Riffs are the most unique thing of any ARPG because there's no other ARPG I think that has captured like that competitive feeling that Sanctum's talking about in the same way D3 has. And all I wanted D4 to be was G-Riffs with more stuff to do outside of that. So yeah, I hope whatever comes in the future and whatnot. I just G-Riffs, man. I just want G-Riffs.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Mhm. Yeah, to me, like Gauntlet didn't really feel like a cool or fun challenge. Like having this build around, like just a full like speed content. I'd much rather have like actually hard to complete content. And I think it's the biggest discrepancy that Diablo has at the moment, where you do any form of hard content in Diablo 4, it's never rewarding. Like you go, like, I don't know, if you go from pit 100 to pit 110, it's completely pointless. Like you're not getting anything else. You're getting way less XP per hour and all that stuff. It's like the game has it completely the wrong way. Like all the incentives are doing like speed content. And all they focused around historically is just adding more speed content. Like we have like the T4 stuff. It's like all like now we have this crazy power creep. And while I like that we don't have nerfs to the build, it's gonna like people are gonna run out of content even faster. I think it's gonna be like similar to a repeat of I think it was season 7, when everybody just like instantly was in T4. I remember I was playing in a group and we had Vega. He one-shotted T4 Duriel after 4 hours into the season with Bloodwave Necro.
Yeah.
Like he literally just found the pants.
Oh yeah.
Boom. One shot everything.
I remember that.
We did the exact
and that
same
is
thing.
like after 4 hours you beat the hardest boss in the game. Back in the days we didn't have Belial and stuff. So I think that's a huge problem, and this is also like in the XP meta, and this represents also in the Gauntlet that we were talking about. I think the game is not that fun if it's only revolving around like doing low content that's not challenging to your character. Like the best way to farm XP is doing content where you one-shot every pack, every elite. Nothing can ever kill you. You one-shot everything. It's completely brain dead, and I really don't like it, the way it's going. I think the hard content needs to be rewarding, and I think leaderboards should be revolving around hard content and not who can, like, I don't know, speed farm a pit 69 in 50 or 40 seconds. Like, I think it's stupid. It's also what ended up a problem in D3 because they had this, like, number cap of Greater Rift 150. I really enjoyed the early days of D3 where you actually had to push, for harder and harder rifts to complete. You'd be unlocking tiers and stuff rather than just doing a pit 150 and one shot like every pack or something, or every 12 seconds you one shot the entire screen. And then it just comes down to, are you going to do the run in 60 seconds or are you going to do 55, 150? Like, it's,
I actually like that, to be fair. Like, I like if the difficulty is, if the difficulty is capped at some point and you don't have 15 minutes slogfest. I just like blasting through things in 2 minutes. That's just my.
Well, I mean, you could argue about like, does it really need to be a 15 minutes timer, or is it better to do like I think early pits had like 10 minutes timer, for example.
Yeah, and AOZ was also
like around
shorter.
Like maybe
Gauntlet
5 to 10 minutes.
I think 15
was 8 minutes.
I've always felt that way.
AOZ was
yeah, that's fine. The Gauntlet is 8 minutes is not the problem, but the Gauntlet was like T4 content. Like that's stupid.
Yeah,
because we have builds that outscale this like 100x.
To be fair, if we had pits that were like 8 minutes or 10 minutes, it would be way different because it wouldn't be so much time spent on the boss, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the boss is another huge problem that I talked about earlier. Like it's no strategic. Like I think somebody said it earlier, like most.
You get to the boss. It's the wrong boss. Oh, runs over, guys.
Yeah.
Restart.
Reset. 7 minutes down the drain.
I mean, this was the same problem in D3 with some
Yeah.
bosses, but in D4 it's particularly bad because for
Yeah, but-
some builds they have horrible single target. It's like 5 minutes
It's-
for the run, 10 minutes for the boss. Yeah, good luck.
It's
Yeah, but, like-
interesting because in D3,
Yeah.
like boss mattered, but there was a lot more doable bosses with like if a build needed a certain boss, it was a very specific build that would need it.
Yeah.
But it feels like
Yeah.
in D4, it's like every build is fishing for something.
Yeah, you had all these strategic elements like in D3, like,
Yeah,
like,
that's true too,
keeping
like
the
you were saying.
pylon or like like adding some monsters from the environment. And there was like a lot of stuff as positioning the boss in a certain spot, like a narrow corridor or something for your skills to trigger. Like in D4, everything is static. You have this like one boss area, you can't do anything about it. You have this like random boss that has like trillions and trillions of HP, and yeah, I think it's a huge problem.
And I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
Rob is spitting here, dude.
Yeah, he's been exact, dude.
Yeah, he
Actually, I'm
is.
passionate about this, man. Like I've been
Since,
complaining
like,
about this for
season
2
one,
years.
Yeah, but
My biggest
that's
complaint since the game launched is the same one as Rob's. Is I feel like the reward difficulty scaling is off in this game, and it's actually gotten progressively worse, not better. And that's the number one problem for a gamer like me with the game. 100%.
Yeah. I feel
Like,
like right
this-
now,
Go ahead.
right now, everyone is like very hyped about the power level of the season. But think about what it's going to be in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
People are going to like clear T4, like even the more casual player, it's going to probably take them like 2 or 3 days to unlock T4. While normally in previous seasons, it's probably going to be like a week. And they're
What's
going to run out of
crazy,
content
too,
so fast.
In the past, they've tried like a few things. Like, do you guys remember? It only was around for 1 or 2 seasons where they added like the uber pinnacle versions of bosses of the,
That was
of the
great.
final. And yeah, and they were supposed to be like hard, and they said like you're only supposed to kill these if you're like a Giga Chad blaster. And then like the next season they nerfed the health, and then they nerfed
What
the health
happened to
again, and then
T4
they
being
removed them.
aspirational? Like that
Yeah.
every build is going to one shot everything on T4.
Wait, you guys remember Release Lilith? That was fun, dude.
Release
Yeah.
Lilith was insanely good. Honestly, we need more of that in the game, in my opinion. I think a lot of casuals disagree with that because it's hard. But to that, I think right now with the difficulty scaling mentioned, we have T4, which is pit 60, right? And then we have tier 100 where you max out your glyphs, and there's like this huge gap between like the things to do in the game. And I think that is one of the issues why the balancing obviously is focused around, okay, we want builds to kind of get their glyphs to 100,
And,
right?
like,
That's
and to that
probably the
point,
directive for the
it
devs,
feels like
right?
since they did that, the balance has shifted to where they want the floor to be pit 100 almost. It feels like where like a
With the
C-tier
changes we've
build
seen,
is
yeah.
supposed to be able to do a pit 100, which makes
Yeah.
like you said, it makes T4 like
right, whoops.
so far below what like even
Yep.
a C-tier build can do. Like, yeah.
And to me, this might be a bit of a hot take. I also don't like that the glyphs are kept at 100. Like, especially you have this power creep because there's just no reward whatsoever to do 101. Like, it's completely like a completely waste of time to do 101 unless you really like, I don't know, enjoy challenging your character, which some people do. But there's no
Exactly.
point, and there's no reward. And like, if there's no reward in playing the game, like what's the reason that I even challenge myself?
Dude, that feeling in D3 when you get a new PB and you get like new highest pit clear you've ever done in D3, and then you go upgrade your glyph and it's like that's just 2% more damage I have forever. Like that's
Exactly, and
Yeah.
even like the small things, like getting that pop-up, boom, or you just on this leaderboard clear, congratulations, you're ranked this and that, and then you also get a
Yeah,
really
that's just
good
missing
permanent reward for your
D4.
character. So I don't even like. I would uncap the glyphs, like just let it go to 150, and then like maybe we can do like 110 and do like 1%
Yeah.
runs or something. Like, at least give us something to do. Like at least it's like very minor. It's like 0.3% damage or something on each glyph, right? And even if a casual has a 110 glyph and maybe you have a 120 glyph, like that's not even a pit tier difference. It's less than a pit tier difference anyways.
I think the weird thing for that is pit is capped at 150, but glyphs are capped at 100. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like either cap both at 100 or both at 150. Because otherwise, all the pit tiers above 100 are basically meaningless, especially because there's
Yeah.
no reward to doing it.
There's
You
no
don't get
leaderboard,
more
there's no
XP
nothing.
for clearing them. There's no leaderboard for doing it. You don't get more loot for doing them. There's like absolutely nothing, really. And that's just. Well, I'm personally against uncapping glyphs entirely or like uncapping pits entirely. That is something we shouldn't do. And we probably also shouldn't uncap Paragon because else we end up in a D3 situation again where. You're like, I need to go to the store, but man, I need Paragon levels. I can't log out right now. Where you just keep chasing the carrot of the +5 main stat. I think that's unhealthy for the game, and I don't want to see it, to be very honest.
They did, by the way. Is it still capped in D3 or did they remove the cap? Because there was a couple seasons where they capped Paragon at 800. I don't know if that's still a thing or if they
No, it was
reverted
one
that.
season.
It's just the one season? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still play D3 seasons, Rob?
Not the recent one, but I think played like 2 seasons ago. It's still pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like the game is they left it in a really good state. Like obviously, like when it launched, it has problems and stuff, just like before, right? But they kept on cooking on it, and they kept on cooking on it, and I think they really came up with something extremely good in the end. Like right now, playing D3 for like a week or for a weekend, like that's extremely fun.
Yeah. Might have to play the next season. It's been a while since I've played one.
Yeah, the +5 chase, man. Waking up in the middle of the night, losing
Dude, that
sleep.
part
You're like,
sucks. When the bots, especially when the guy that you're competing with for rank 1 has like literally every hour the game's been out and it's been out for 2 weeks and he hasn't missed a single hour of playtime, and you're like, God damn it.
I do have to say, it was quite fun to play the game and then like have like Rob's stream open and be like, he's like one level ahead of me. I gotta pick up the pace, Gotta smack it a little harder and stuff.
For D3 or D4, you mean?
D3, honestly. But
Yeah, great,
honestly,
great days,
it's just
man.
unhealthy.
I will miss those times, man. Good times.
But I do miss them too. But let's be honest, it's unhealthy. Honestly, like uncapped Paragon just promotes very unhealthy playing behavior.
No, I'm I'm happy that there is a cap in D3 in D4, sorry. And I think it should stay that way. I'm just not really like a fan of the Paragon board cap, but like Paragons in general
7
need to
boards
be
again
kept.
if you want to.
They removed there was so much theory crafting that was removed from the game when they put in the Paragon board.
It's just
cap.
stupid because like when you're like 240, like all your points don't really matter anymore, and I think that's
like,
bad.
Unit like you can path a different way and save 2 points, but like, it's like
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like your Paragon boards is like whatever in this game right now. I think the system needs a rework at some point.
yeah.
I do remember at some point on Rogue we were picking up an 8th board, but not for a legendary node, but just for one of the rare nodes, like Spring
Yeah, that was
Loaded
great.
for Poison
There
Trap.
was
We
so
picked up
much cool
we picked it up as
stuff.
an 8th board just to get that. That was so good, honestly.
To be honest, though, I never liked Paragon board optimization. I always found it like too nitty gritty and kind of cringe. But I liked it more the way it was than it is.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
that it's gone, like I miss it because like
Yeah,
every board is
yeah.
just like it doesn't really matter which
love
Paragon
it.
board you do.
I actually really love doing Paragon boards, just sitting down and just spinning and counting, and I don't know, it was just very fun for me.
Yeah,
It
if you
was
cap
fun, yeah.
yourself
Yeah,
to
I
like
like it too, I
200
like it too.
Paragons or something, it gets really interesting. Like when we won the PTR,
Yeah.
just starting out at 200 Paragon, I was like, oh man, I really have to think about where I put those points, man. But like in the live game, it's super whatever.
Yeah, when you get this is a big problem with Necro's passive tree as well. Like when you can get everything you want and there's no decision to make. Necro's
Exactly.
passive tree is worked
Yeah.
the same way.
That's exactly the problem I have with the board. Like there's no decision to make, it's brain dead.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like they're dumping down the game a lot. Like a good example is Barbarian Clipses. Like what they did with Barb, you used to have to scale your key passives. You had Blood Rage, you had to scale it with damage of Berserking. Then you had the Hemorrhage, you needed to scale it with your vulnerable damage. And then you had some, I think the Earthquake one where you had to scale it with your close damage. And there was like this game that you have to play to kind of like, min-max like all the Paragon nodes. And then it was also very good because you had a progression, right? Nowadays, you click Blood Rage or even across all classes, you click the Paragon node and you instantly have a 50x multiplier. Back in the days, you clicked it when you were level 10, you clicked it and you got a 10x multiplier. And then as you progressed, you got more damage to Berserking or more vulnerable damage to scale this node even more as your character progresses. And I think they completely made it like brain dead, where you just click the board, you get 50% X, don't have to think about it. I really liked it a lot more when this was like, a journey to get the maximum bonus. And I think it's a really bad direction that part of the game is going.
No, I really liked when you actually had to make a decision on what you wanted to temper, what you wanted to put on as an affix, because you needed to hit these caps, but it wasn't easy to do until you had progressed through the game. So I definitely agree. Like it was nice having something on your gear that felt meaningful, and now you just put critical strike damage on and call it a day.
One of the great shames, I think. So there used to be with the way that one of our Paragon nodes used to work, we would stack as much intelligence as possible. And that was like a weird thing to look at because that was back when you would always run HP gems in your gear. And so you'd be running intelligence gems in your gear, and then that would like change how you'd have to like build your character because now you're way less tanky than you normally would be. And those kind of things like really shifted. Like when you start trying to get the most int you can, you start to like all parts of your character start to move and shift, and you start to have to balance things more. But then then they put it like a cap. Oh, like you can only stack this to 1800 intelligence, and then like all of that is just gone. Like
Yeah, that's it's a little bit unfortunate that we don't have that in the game anymore. It would be kind of cool to open up Paragon theory crafting a little bit more. I think now that the nodes are buffed, it might be a little bit of an issue because if it's 8, let's say you could use 7 boards or 8 boards, and the nodes are like 50% X each, then it kind of becomes kind of a thing where you just path through the board and just pick up all the legendary nodes, which would be a little bit unfortunate, but I still think there would be some choice if it was like maybe one additional board. Like then if it's one additional board, you kind of can't pick all the nodes anymore, right? You would have some choices. Okay, maybe I don't pick up the max life. Maybe I don't pick up the whatever it is, like attack speed or something, and instead get this new legendary node that I can take now, or like another glyph or something. Would be cool.
I mean, I'll take the Paragon board. I'll take the Paragon boards and system the way it was in season 2 any day over what it is right now. I think it's going in the wrong direction. This is my opinion. I think it's not going in a good direction of the Paragon system. It's getting like more and more universal. Like you don't have to think about really what you take, and it's all the same thing.
To be fair to the devs, it is easier to balance, right? When you had uncut things,
of course, it's easier to balance, but like the real problem is to balance.
That feels a bit lazy, It's like you can.
Yeah, it's a very lazy solution, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a very lazy solution. That's the problem.
I remember like before VOH came out, you guys remember like all like there's like those leaks and like all this low key stuff like, oh, there's a Paragon rework, there's like whispers of this. I was so hyped for that when we saw it, and I was like, that's okay. Like when they like first put the cap on, it's like
yeah. Now we'll see where it's gonna go.
Yeah, it seems like there's some winds of change, but we'll see what happens. But there's definitely some indicators that things might be changing, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting for sure. So we had the mention about Paragon boards. We talked about leaderboards. Loot filter was something that was mentioned. Just a quick thinking: do you guys think loot filter is necessary? Also, chat, do you think we need loot filter? And
don't ask Bruce this, please.
I hate loot filters.
You hate loot filters? Okay.
I think they could work if they're implemented in game through like the game's UI and are easy to do, easy to manipulate, easy to mess with. But in general, like the way that a lot of games I've really been talking about Path of Exile, where you have to go to like third-party tools and the tools aren't not up to date and it's broken and it's missing this item and it bugged and now like I wasn't looting my Akora's locks the whole time. I hate loot filters. They drive me nuts. I much prefer less better loot rather than loot filters.
I always say it like in the past, like for me, like you have the option of a loot filter. Like obviously, like you can play the game the way it is right now, or you just go into the options in game and there's one button that just says it's a checkbox, automatically salvage non-ancestral gear. Like that would fix it all for me already. Like in the current state. Obviously, if we had like a customizable in-game filter, maybe similar to Last Epoch, how they do it. Like if that's a thing, obviously, like nobody would have anything against having that on top of what we have right now, right? It doesn't replace anything. It's completely opt-in, optional. So even if you don't like loot filters, like you don't have to play with a loot filter, right? Like, and I like that the game is not as showering you as crazy with loot as PoE does. I mean, like running in an Abyss map or running like, I don't know, a multi-breach map and you hide your loot filter for a second. So I completely see where you're coming from. With, like, that's also bad. But, I think Diablo is not like that right now. And having a loot filter on top of what we have right now, I mean, yeah, of course, that'd be an easy W.
In that regard, I think it's important to distinguish that. Like, the moment the game becomes unplayable without a loot filter is problematic. As you said, like, playing the game PoE2, let's say you're a casual, right? And you don't care about loot filters. You just want to play the game, blast some maps, right? And then there's like 500 items on the screen, and you pick up all of them, and then every like 3 monsters you have to port to town and like salvage your items and do these things. That just doesn't work. And it honestly is kind of the same in Last Epoch. Like the game is pretty much unplayable without the loot filter if you enter corruption, right? Because there's so much stuff dropping, and getting to the point where the loot filter is so good, so well defined, that if something drops, it's definitely going to be good. That is very tedious, and it's super, super difficult to generalize that, because what you want as a loot filter might not be the same thing that a different person playing the same build wants, because maybe they have other needs. Maybe their pieces of gear are already done or locked in, or they need certain uniques that you already have, and all these kind of things makes it super, super difficult to have like a cohesive loot filter system. And I think if D4 tackles that issue, they need to be very smart about it.
Yeah, I agree. I played a little bit of Last Epoch, and I was playing the game, and eventually I was like, man, there's a ton of loot. Like, I'm spending so much time just managing the loot. Then I turned on a loot filter, and I put it on, and somebody helped, was like, because I was brand new to the game, so someone was like, oh, hey, set up these, and then every single piece of gear that dropped, I knew was something I needed, and then I stopped playing the game. I was like, there was no chase. That was it. I knew that was a piece of gear that I needed, so I'm just, I don't know, it just killed it for me. So there's got to be a good balance between, like, you still know that something might be good, but maybe not, and you're still chasing something. It's not just completely overriding all of it.
Yep, that's a good point. So one thing we didn't pick up on when we talked about classes, right? We talked about strongest builds, strongest classes. But we forgot to talk about fun builds and fun classes. Like, first of all, what do you guys want to start the season with? Like, what's your go-to leveling build that you want to play? And then, what do you think is going to be the most fun build of all the classes? Let's take it away with Ruse here.
Well, I think objectively, when you look at the numbers, you look at the data, Necromancer is the coolest class with the most interesting builds. And I don't think anyone here would dispute that. But
I love the energy.
But so for starter builds for Necro, so it's going to be like a Sever Minion build, as it has been for the last 8 or 9 seasons. So you're going to start with like a Sever Minion hybrid, and then you're going to transition that into Affliction. Affliction is like completely busted early endgame. Then after Affliction, you have like 2 main options. So you either go from the Affliction build into a Shadow Blight build, which is going to be Necromancer's best pick pushing build. It's going to be like probably one of the stronger builds in the whole game. Or you can transition into Minions. Which minions are going to be really cool this season. And in particular, I'm excited about minions for Infernal Hordes, because I'm going to design a build that's like tanky enough that, you know, I can alt tab, play a little PoE, maybe I'll go make a sandwich or whatever, and I'll just let the minions clear the wave. So I'm excited for that.
I love it. That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of cool
Thanks for the
stuff.
follow.
All right, flip this. What do you think?
Definitely going to be starting Lunging Strike with a little bit of Whirlwind mix in and Quakes. As soon as I find the 2 runes I need, then it's pretty much Quakes all the way up into the Torment tiers. And I then am going to transition into straight Lunging Strike once I get all the uniques, because it's going to be hitting pretty hard. I had a really fun build with 3 basic skills, and it works on resetting cooldowns of your basic skills, so I'm pretty excited to see how it works. I saw the variant that has Whirlwind in it, which looks pretty cool too. And then after that, for farming the Infernal Hordes, definitely going to be going the auto cast Dust Devil build, because you can cast just an insane amount of Dust Devils, and you can just stand there if you really want to. Same thing. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be doing some big bonks with Hoda. I'm pretty excited. So
Hell yeah.
Rupture, I think, might be pretty insane. We had it up to almost 100 trillion damage on the PTR. So we'll see what comes out of this, and I don't know where it's going to end up. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Hell yeah. I mean, I really like to see Rupture, but the single target was not solvable for me. Like, I did 110, 5 minutes for the run, but you can't kill the boss, man.
The single target was definitely tough.
So yeah, for me, I really don't know yet, man. Like, there's so many cool builds. Like I said earlier, it's for me either Spiritborn. Obviously, Spiritborn is insane. I think the most fun build is going to be the Ape. Like, anything with the Ape. Like, I really miss the crushing hands, payback, whatever. Like, the Gorilla is going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to test that. Then Ball Lightning Sorcerer, like, I love the build in Season 2. It's making a comeback, and you can even play like the Super Ball Lightning Shotgun. I think most people are going to enjoy that. I think that might be the most popular build of the season, just Ball Lightning Shotgun. So I was like so sure they're going to nerf it on the PTR that after the PTR that I didn't keep playing it. I didn't even record more footage, because I was like, there's no way that this is going to survive. They're going to nerf this adaptive stance power, like, for sure. And they didn't. They even buffed Mana Shield. So yeah, here we go. Like Sorcerer is gonna look pretty insane. And then also there is a Druid. But since Druid is for me, like you have the Raven, okay, but I'm not really like the big summon guy. So yeah, Ball Lightning Sorg or Ape Spiritborn. I don't know yet.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What do you think, Sanctum?
Well, I'm gonna play Druid. I wouldn't if I was gonna come back to Druid one season, it's this season. Rogue. I mean, in my opinion, Rogue is actually, apart from pit pushing, it's actually an S tier class, right? Like DOK starter is amazing, Death Trap for farming, and DOK both are amazing. But I've been playing them for 5 seasons, and Druid's kind of good, so we swapped. And I'm gonna level Shred. It's pretty speedy, but like Rogue. And then we're gonna do Boulder. Well, I'll do Shred a bit into the end game, and then when I get Boulder online, I'm gonna go Boulder. And the plan's to basically, because now back when I played a Druid, to start Boulder, you had to stand still to cast Boulder. So what people would do is they would do Shred with Nature's Fury and Savagery, I think it is, so that your Shred could cast Boulders, right? But now you can just Boulder while you move, so you can do the Shred thing for free, and the Boulders last like 10 seconds. You Boulder and you just shred around at the speed of light. Well, maybe not the speed of light, but pretty fast. And should be quite strong. Maybe do some pit pushing. And then, honestly, just the plan is to try out all the Druid builds. I haven't played Druid in so long, That's it, basically it.
Yeah, that sounds great, honestly. Yeah, to the surprise of absolutely no one, I am going to be starting Rogue. Dance of Knives. It's a pretty good leveling build. One of the fastest leveling builds in the game. But this time,
Shocker.
we maybe don't have to, abandon ship and jump into whatever builds next, because we do have a good path into the end game with Dance of Knives and Poison Trap. I think Dance of Knives plus Poison Trap, like spinning around and like shooting out the negas that we built the spawn Poison Traps, that sounds pretty good. It's gonna be a fun build. That's gonna be pretty cool. So if you guys are looking for some fun build to play, which is also going to be strong enough to get you to T100 and above, Dance of Knives plus Poison Trap is going to be the thing. And if you're going to go really fast, then you're going to go with Death Trap. That's definitely a good way to play. So I think it's cool to see that all classes kind of have a cool thing going for it, right? That always makes me happy if I see all the classes have something where we can safely say, hey, this is fun to play. We can recommend this to people. If you guys like Sword, play this. If you guys play Rogue, play this. If you guys like Bard, play this. It's kind of cool, and I enjoy seeing that the diversity in the game, because if you, let's say pit pushing was not in the game, right? So many builds would be great to play in T4, because there's a lot of amazing builds. Obviously, some are more niche than others. Like some don't have the AoE to be like really good T4 and stuff. But yeah, it's just kind of cool to see. It's interesting to see to me that technically there's a lot of variety, but it's being like choke holded or gate capped by pit pushing, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is for you guys, but something that I hate with my relationship with this game is that I hate pit pushing. Like the actual act of pit pushing, I hate it. But at the same time, it's one of the only things that keeps me playing, like during a season. Just like,
Yeah, it's
like
it gets
it's tough, man.
yeah, it's basically just say like you enjoy the competition, right? But actually competing is what you don't enjoy, because the
horrible.
act of
It's horrible.
competing in D4 is just not fun. Like 15 minutes, you spend 30 seconds per lead pack just wailing at the pack, not dodging anything because you don't care whatever they throw at you, right? You just play your piano build, like put on the Caltrops, put on Smoke Grenade, put on the Poison Trap, and then press whatever core skill flavor you have chosen, right? And then you just move to the next pack, and then after 7 minutes, the boss spawns, and if it's Mother's Judgment, you just add a 4 and uninstall the game, and then it's fine, right?
I think most people actually feel like that. Like even if you're like a very frequent pit pusher, like you push the pit a lot, like the act of pit pushing, like I just don't think people really enjoy that. So yeah, it's definitely like a problem in the game, and I think it needs to be more rewarding and more fast paced to be fixed. So I'm really excited to see what this potential leaderboard system is going to be, and hopefully that's going to solve the issue somehow and make it like more tactically, like strategically, like the way it like the way it was in D3.
Yeah, that would be great, honestly.
Yeah, if they bring G-Riffs, I'll be hooked once again, fall back in love with the game like if we were at launch. But
Man, I even enjoyed AOZ a lot more than the pits. Like they always say, like, okay, AOZ
love
was like our
AOZ.
test on pits. Like it's the same on the Paragon boards, man. Season 2 AOZ is better than the pits. Like that's my opinion. Like it was like way better, especially the boss.
AOZ?
Because instead of the boss, you had this like for those of you that for
The
the
elite.
viewers that don't remember, you had this like 3 Bloodseekers. You know how in the Helltide you
Yeah.
get the Bloodseeker when you get like the full. The full aggro, like the red bar you fill, you get this Bloodseeker. There was like 3 of those bosses instead of like one, unkillable big damage sponge boss that you fight in a specific area. You could actually strategically decide, okay, where do I want to spawn the Bloodseekers to fight them? They were actually dangerous and they weren't just damage sponges.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember in AOZ when there was a competition going, and most rogue builds on AOZ actually chose to separate the Bloodseekers. And then we had this funny
Strategic
interaction
element
where,
right there.
yeah, where I had this funny element where like I got the highest clear at the time, and then Woody was reviewing my video and he was like saying, "Dude, is he taking all 3 Bloodseekers at once? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's dangerous. You have to dodge every single thing, but it's actually best to do that back then." And so there was a lot of strategic element involved, and like there was like even some crazy shit, some Koreans respecking their pen shot builds in the run
Oh,
to
yeah.
rapid fire to
okay,
actually
okay.
kill the Bloodseekers. Okay, that's maybe a little bit too much, and I'm glad
Yeah,
you're gear and skill locked. But it was interesting. It was interesting to see. There was
Snapshotting.
tech behind it. There was strategy. There was cool things, right? Obviously,
And
AOZ
also, there
glyph,
was a
AOZ
reward,
glyph was
because you
another
had a-
problem, right?
Yeah, you had
But
a gem. I mean, obviously that gem was maybe a bit too powerful, but like
Yeah, it was too powerful.
bringing back the Tears of Blood in like a, I don't know, damage divided by 10 version or something, and having it like, what was it, like 200 glyph levels or something, or like some crazy
Yeah,
number, like it
something
was
like that. Yeah.
ridiculous like XP. That would also give you an incentive to do pits after you're done with your glyphs to level 100, which this season people are going to finish in like a couple days. Maybe
feel like
even
part
the
of the-
second day.
I feel like part of why they thought AOZ was such a failure was because they released it like, if I remember correctly, it was like 6 or 8
Mid-season.
weeks into a season.
Yeah.
was-
and so
it
by,
was.
in the middle of the
by the
season.
time it came out, everyone was already gone, and so like some people did come back, but like the majority of the audience was not coming
It was-
back for AOZ.
It was only the blasters left, right? That we were like playing anyway.
Yeah. And for a casual player, it was really harsh. So
It was too
AOZ
hard.
itself
Yeah.
was good, but like level 1 AOZ was basically impossible for 90% of the players already. So,
Especially because you only had one try, and the barrier of entry by crafting the sigil was so high. Like
Yeah, yeah,
actually having to farm sigil dust to properly craft it was really expensive, and then only being able to have 1 life was crazy.
it's still my all-time top season. I mean, even today, like tomorrow, like okay, season 10 is gonna be fun, but if season 2 would release tomorrow, I probably enjoy that more. So
Yeah, me too. I
I'm
agree.
not saying like I'm not gonna enjoy the season, but season 2 was awesome.
Season 2
Yeah,
was
yeah.
probably
No,
the
that-
best season
Yeah,
we had
season
so
two
far.
That
was
season
great,
was
yeah.
actually
Ah.
that season was spoiled for me because I remember I did over 2,000 what was it back then, Durials for
Durials, yeah.
Starless, and I didn't get Starless, and I was like, I'm out, dude. I
Yeah.
can't play
Because there
this.
was no bad
I'm
luck
out.
protection in the form of crafting. I remember
And then
that.
people would come in my party, like friends, to do it with me, and they would get the Starless. Ava got the Starless and the Shaco, and like 5 kills, dude.
I remember
Oh,
that season
I
I had
really
like
remember.
all the mythic uniques at 100 kills, and then you did like 2,000.
Crazy,
Oh,
man. What? That's
so
so
sad,
right
man.
there, man.
Yeah, the drop.
So that was
My streamer life,
actually
dude.
so there was actually a question in chat asking about hardcore. Do you guys have any thoughts about hardcore, or what do you think is hardcore going to be like for season 10? I think none of you actually play hardcore, myself included. But
I-
you know,
I was a hardcore main in D3. If I didn't do
Okay.
YouTube, I would 100% be a hardcore player in all
That's
these
a good
games.
point.
But YouTube and MOBA guys kind of have to play softcore. But if I wasn't, I'd 100% be a hardcore player. Hardcore is so much
Yeah.
more interesting.
I think hardcore makes it a little bit too hard to get like all the gear to showcase and progress your character quickly enough to be
Yeah.
able to pump the video content and stuff.
No, you can't.
But, like,
you can't do both.
If let's say you were playing SSF, would you play hardcore again?
Oh yeah, like if YouTube and
Okay.
everything wasn't a factor, 100% I'd play hardcore.
That's kind of cool.
I played a hardcore character this season for the first time in a couple seasons. I've had
Oh,
all my
okay.
renown done already, and except for Nahantu,
Mhm.
I didn't have that done. But I got on, and this is just my own personal preference. I got about 4 or 5 days in. I was in Torment 4. I was killing everything. I still had some 750 pieces of gear on, and I was like, I'm done. Like, it's too slow. I'm going to go fight Lilith. And I fought Lilith on Torment 1, and then Torment 2, and then Torment 3, and then I finally died. and it was my
I hear you.
glorious way of like
That's kinda
ending
cool.
my character. But it's just
That's kind of cool though.
personally, it was just too slow for me because I just want to smash my character up against a wall of monsters, and if I die, I die, and then I just restart and I go again because like I just like blasting like that.
Yeah, I'm the same like that for sure. Like I like hardcore like as an event or something. Like maybe like one stream we make a hardcore character, see how far it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But for long term, like in video games, man, I love that you can try again. You know, it's not like in real
Yeah.
life. Like if you die, you're dead. But in a video game, man, you die or you get to try again. Isn't that awesome? So I would not like you know, my main will always be softcore. I just like it more like the fast plays, high risk like plays. I like to focus on DPS and just playing like, you know, very defensively and like very slow paced. It's just not my type of like gameplay.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think it's a good point. Like in
Yeah.
softcore, you have the option to build your character with, you know, minimal defense in mind, trying to squeeze out every single last bit of DPS that you can. That's kind of cool.
You know what's funny? I've always built my softcore characters as if they were hardcore. 'Cause I don't actually like dying. I don't like. I used to play hardcore, but then I stopped in other games. But I actually don't like dying, so I end up always building my characters as if they were hardcore. Nowadays, so it doesn't really matter. You're never really in danger, so you know it's like it's whatever. But back in like season 1, 2, remember you would make like a much squishier and more like
Yeah.
cutting
Yeah, I
edge.
remember
Let's say more
Like-
risky version of Rogue, and I would make the tankier version.
Like people were actually asking for the differences between our rogue builds, right? And then people were like, yeah, if you want to go tanky, go with Sanctums. If you want to mono DPS, go with Mippy.
Yeah, exactly.
it's
That's
like-
what I would say.
It's actually
Yeah.
interesting. Not to say that. It's kind of
I will-
cool.
Yeah,
I will
that's
say-
kind of gone now.
I think
Yeah.
hardcore can be too punishing for sure. Like it, but I do enjoy like more mid-core style, where you lose like some progression, you lose like access to like some resources, stuff like that. I really
Like
just
the
like
game
how
which shouldn't be named.
like the game that shouldn't be named. I think that's a pretty good mid-core. But I think
Yeah.
in D4, like in soft core, there's just absolutely no punishment for death. I really don't like it, and it's also like too hard to die. So I would, yeah, if there's more punishment for death, I would like it more.
Yeah, I mean,
see
people.
that point.
I get the question a lot. Like, will this build work in hardcore? And I took my softcore build, and all I did was just use the exact same build in hardcore, and I was within I think 2 days I was running through Torment 4, just farming. I even had 750 pieces of gear on. Like I wasn't afraid of dying. I was just like, we're gonna see what we can do with this character. And I'm sure there were, during the leveling process, a couple different decisions that I made on what I was taking when, but it wasn't huge. And I used the same build, so I don't know. I'm not too sure what the real differences are, but it was a little bit slow for me. But I mean,
Yeah.
D2 you had experience loss when you died, so something
It's
like
a very
that.
classic
Yeah,
feature of RPGs in general. Like even back then, like Sacred and Titan Quest had the feature. So it's kind of novel that D3 doesn't have it. D3 didn't have it anymore, and that D4 also doesn't have it.
I think it's kind
So,
of
it's
controversial. Like a lot of people like it that there's a
It's
penalty, and a
controversial, yeah.
lot of people hate it. Like especially like, you know, more casual audience.
Yeah.
Oh, I die, I lose XP, man. Oh my god, you know.
Yeah,
but,
it's a very polarizing feature. And
yeah,
you know,
I
it
like
can be
more
super
risk, more
punishing.
reward kind of playstyle. So for me, it would be fine if it's like a small penalty, or like PoE does it. Like you have like ways to mitigate it, right? You lose 10%, but if you have an Omen, you only lose 2.5 or something, right? Like something like this, I could see, or like maybe just for the last levels, like you don't really need to have it until Paragon 100 or something, and then maybe there's a small penalty of dying or something. But yeah, to me, like just hardcore is too slow paced. Like I want to play fast, man. You know.
it's a very low impact feature, to be fair. Like even if it's in the game, it doesn't really change the game too much unless it's like very punishing. But if it's like slightly punishing, would you really go a little bit more tanky if you lose some XP? Maybe a little bit, right? Like in PoE, the prospect of dying, especially if you're like 97 or something, you really don't want to die, even if it's only 2.5%.
It's very
So
hard to hit level
I think you
100.
play different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just hard to hit level 100 in PoE without having like a genuinely good character that has like good balance between offense and defense. Whereas in D4 you just go full offense and yeah, send it. But it's fine. Yeah, different game.
Sure thing. All right, so to start slowly wrapping it up, because we said it's going to be 1.5 hours. We've been going for 2 now, which is kind of fine. I want to have like every one of you like have one thing what excites them the most. That's going to be like the thing that's coming in season 10. And what is the thing that you're most excited about beyond that, or what you wish for that's going to be coming in D4?
Okay, so for me, it's definitely build diversity. I think we never had a season where we had so many like S tier builds, viable builds. Like you can do, like basically with any build, you can experience a complete new build, a complete playstyle. It doesn't really matter what class you choose. Obviously, there are some classes that are slightly better still. But in the end, guys, you just want to have some fun clearing like Tournament 4 content. It doesn't really matter to most people if you do pit 100 or you do pit 110. It's the same thing, feels the same. You just want to have like a smooth experience like throughout the board, like grinding through there. I think that's going to be the most fun for me, and I highly encourage everybody that's watching as well to just try different characters. You don't have to like just play one character and then you beat the content and I'm gonna quit or something. Like it's always good chance to like just play another character, see how that feels, maybe a character or a class you've never played before, and just try that. And there's many awesome builds, and I also think a lot of synergies, especially with the generic chaos armors. Like you get a lot of stuff for a second character with your main character. So the build diversity is, I think, what has me excited the most. And then also seeing like you have at least a bit more of a progression curve, because those chaos uniques, as they're not tradable, they're going to be really hard to get, right? And it's going to take at least a significant amount of time to like fully min-max your character, while normally this is done much faster. So that has me like really excited, I think, for the long term of the game. Obviously, like, going beyond this season, those chaos uniques are going to be removed again. And then we'll see what they will be cooking up for the next season. But hopefully we get to hear some expansion possible news soon, like maybe around the Christmas time or something. So definitely most excited about that. Soon TM, I hope.
Soon TM, my friends. Yeah, great insight for sure. I think most importantly for people to remember that the armory feature is actually quite good. If you want to test multiple builds on a class, I've used it quite a lot actually. There's a little bit of unfortunate things going with it, like not changing chaos perks, so you have to do that manually. But overall, it's a good addition, and some people could just keep. I see people keeping forgetting that armory exists, honestly. So
yeah, I see that a lot too. People just make other characters of the same one when they only have one build.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, why are you calling me out? I keep forgetting to use it sometimes.
You're right. Cliptus, what do you think about what excites you?
I'm definitely just gonna like echo what Rob said. The build diversity has just been like my main selling point for this season, and I'm incredibly excited for it. I think it'll keep people playing a little bit longer. It'll also encourage some more group play, and that's what I really focused around. So I'm pretty excited about that. And if it is going to be a longer season, it'll probably give me a chance to actually get onto some of the other classes. I don't have a ton of time to actually game. I get a couple hours a night after work, but it's not a lot. So I'm pretty excited to like explore a whole bunch of different builds, and the Chaos Armor does translate to several different builds. So if I find a piece that I need, it should be able to be used in several different builds, and I can just translate those over and play more builds probably faster than I normally would have. And this joke has been going on in my stream for a very long time. I absolutely love the game. I have very little complaints because I don't get to play a lot, and so I don't really need too much out of a game. I just want to get on and blast with people. But the one thing that I would like to change in the game, no dead ends to the pits. That's it. I'd be happy then.
Dead ends and pits. Oh my god, man.
I would be happy with that.
Dead ends and pits is real Alta 4 material, man.
I think like, even worse than that is like we still don't have a third floor. Like there's still pits you run out of progress. Like what the hell?
Running out of a monster. Oh my god, running out of monsters is the worst.
It's mostly this weird jail map, right? It is like 90% of the issues with pits are this weird jail map, and I don't know.
Also others.
Like if I remember, there's like a seasonally post about the jail map still being shit in like the feedback, but it's nothing being done about it.
It's feedback for 1 year already.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe if we all spam it, they'll start changing it.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's it for me. I'm just happy with the build diversity, and I just enjoy playing the game. So I'm gonna get on and keep on blasting because blasting for a short amount of time because that's what I love to do.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, Roos, what do you think?
I'm extremely excited about the new chaos power that flips the necro specific one that flips your core skills into ultimates and your ults into core skills. It's pretty much the biggest
Alter the
necro.
balance? Is that the one?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I don't remember the name, but that's like pretty much the biggest like necro meta shift and that we've ever had. Like necro's been playing like the same stuff forever. This is the first season where we've got a lot of new stuff to look at. So I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun, like 3 crafting builds and min-maxing stuff. There's still a lot of work to do, even still, a lot more testing to do. But then in terms of the future, I guess like more personally, we're gonna be like expanding our like content starting this season. We're gonna be covering more classes and stuff. I'm really excited for that. So I guess like personally, what I'm most excited about with the future D4 is kind of branching out and doing stuff that isn't just necro builds. Starting this season, I'm gonna be trying to cover Sork, talk a little bit about Barbarian. We'll see how all this goes, but yeah, I'm trying out some new stuff.
That's cool. That's cool for sure. All right.
For me, honestly, it's very similar to what Rob thinks. And I have to say, one of my favorite seasons, actually, if I think about it, was the season they released Hordes. Because that season, I literally just played like
Hordes,
whole months or more, just Hordes with my friends all day, and then just
S5
chilled in
was great.
Discord, played with viewers, chatted all day, and it was really fun. And I'm glad we have another season like that where there's an incentive to play in a group, and it's not just Belial. It's like, okay, come on, press the chest so I can press it. Like, oh god, I like
the
that.
thing is, season 5 was when Hordes were introduced. T8 Hordes was actually difficult.
It was real hard.
Yeah,
that's
hard.
why
it was hard.
That's why it kept many people motivated to play as well, which is a good thing in my opinion.
But after my
how
goal
great
was
would it be?
yeah.
Infernal Hordes would be like hard content.
Oh, it would be amazing.
Way, especially now, I was kind of expecting this season actually. Like when they said it's gonna be in the roadmap, like a half year ago, it's gonna be a full rework. I like what they did with Infernal Hordes, but the big problem is it's still just T4 content, and all the this season, all the builds they all scale it easy, and it's just not challenging. And in the end, you're just gonna stand there, and your party member is gonna one shot everything, and you're just gonna stand there like, what the hell?
Lightning Sorks, Lightning Spear Sorks, Jesus Christ.
I was really hoping that
auto attack everything.
I was really hoping to see at the end of your 10 waves with this whole rework that they had talked about before this, that all of a sudden the floor dropped out from below you. You fell down another tier, and all of a sudden the monsters were harder. We had to continue on the waves. I was just fantasy in my head.
Yeah, but they initially talked about the whole rework. I thought okay, surely it's gonna be endless now, right? Like 30-second 30-second waves, endless until you die, right? And then you go. If you die, you respawn in a reward room, and then you pick up the pieces, right? That would have been awesome, absolutely. Yeah. But then they kind of chose to.
It's decent what they did. It's much better.
Yes, it is much better.
It is better. It is better.
It's better, but it's not innovative at all.
It's good, but it could have been great, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just summed up the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's the same for Bartok, right? I had expectations for the boss to be I don't know, they could make it like a Lilith Caliban kind of boss fight. Instead, it's just a pushover. All the builds, they're just gonna one shot the Bartok.
Yeah.
If you have half decent gear.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? But it would have been kind of cool to have something else that's challenging other than T100 pits or T100 whatever plus pits, right? That would have been kind of cool. I still think the game would massively benefit from having more outlets of difficulty, more things that are actually hard. But maybe we're going to see something in the future.
I mean, an easy example, somebody mentioned it earlier, we used to have those tormented bosses. Why don't we have a tormented Bartok that has I don't know, 50 times the HP, 50 times the damage? It's actually a really challenge. And it costs, I don't know, 2,000 cinders. And you can only really get it if you get a really crazy chaos wave or something, right?
I don't know,
the question...
It's just an example. It's just there's also problems with that. But either way, just some crazy stuff, or tormented Belial or something, right? That's I don't know, pit 100 difficulty plus.
I think the big issue with these kind of things is if you just keep increasing the health of bosses and maybe the damage a little bit, it kind of becomes quite it's just a numbers game. Like
I mean, that's the
bosses-
simple thing, right? They could also add more mechanics or like,
Yeah, it
I
needs
don't
to
know,
have
do
more
something else.
mechanics
Like, they
and
don't
stuff,
have to
yeah.
like, it's just like an easy example of like, they could like probably code this in a day, but like, it's like, yeah, they could make some crazy and great stuff. Of course.
It feels
Yeah,
like
it's just
if
like
a-
in D3, right? Where they just kept increasing torment tiers, and it was kind of the same thing of what we did before, just the numbers were higher. That's a solution you can do, but it does smooth out the progression just a little bit, but realistically speaking, it's still the same thing, right? Which
I
is
remember. You guys
not
remember like
ideal.
when the game launched, like how hard nightmare dungeons were. Like getting to high level nightmare dungeons was
Yeah.
super difficult.
T100
then-
Nightmare Dungeons
And then
were
they did that
difficult.
patch where they made T100 Nightmare Dungeons as hard as 70s. Like they basically, or like, as the
Yeah.
old 70s when they rescaled the Nightmare Dungeons.
Yeah.
And it feels like in general, there's always been this feeling that I've had from updates that they want the game to be clearable and beatable by everyone. So like everyone is supposed to beat everything. And the problem is it means like there's all challenging content always ends up getting nerfed or removed. And it just feels like, it just over time the game just gets easier and easier and easier, and then we'll have a patch that makes it harder, and then it'll get easier and easier over time, and then we'll have a patch that makes it harder, and it gets easier and easier and easier, and we have a patch.
Yeah.
And
This is
it just
exactly
feels
what we
like-
had in season 7, right? Like when the power creep
Yep,
was so
exactly.
ridiculous. And then after that, we had the campfire where they said, oh, we want T4 to be aspirational for 10% of the players. That was like half a year ago. And what happened now?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like,
Yeah. It's
They always say they
unfortunate.
want to make it harder than backtrack.
we were in this cycle. Like, right now, like this season, the game is like probably as
Yeah.
easy as season 7, or maybe even the easiest it has ever been for like all the classes, which is good that all
Yeah.
classes are viable. But people will run out of content extremely fast this season.
Dude,
then
we're all
they're gonna
Bloodwave
make it-
Unless
Necros
they
from
want to
season
do
7.
unless they want to do the Chaos Hour chase, right? Where they get like perfect GAs.
Of course, but like like most people that come back to the game that played like occasionally, like for us, like we're a bit different, but like people that just come back to the game, like they're gonna like I don't know, play for a week and then there's nothing to do
Yeah.
for them at
Yeah.
least.
That's true. That's a good point. Right. At this point, I think we have had a great podcast so far. I want to wrap it up here. I want to thank everyone for joining. It's been absolutely amazing. I personally had a blast listening to all of you guys and hearing the opinions and just bouncing around ideas and talking about everything. It's been absolutely amazing. Hopefully, this is not going to be the last podcast that we hold. I'm looking forward to doing these more in the future and invite different people in over. We're going to have some other people from the MOBA team come in, try to get some other guests as well. Absolutely a big thank you to Rob for joining us as a VIP guest this time. We'll
Thanks for having me. It was
surely
fun.
try to collaborate more on a few things in the future as well. So yeah, thank you everyone. And this video of the podcast is going to be on the Mobalytics YouTube channel as well. And yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you for being here. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
all
you.
of
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks,
It was really
friends.
fun. It was really fun.
Have a great day and enjoy the season start.
Yeah, good
Yep,
luck, everybody.
Good luck with the season start.
Let's go,
and
GG.
Good
have
luck.
fun and enjoy. Thank you guys.
All right,
See ya.
everybody.
Okay. All right, can you guys hear me? I just turn the camera back on real quick. See, where is it here? All right, let me get. All right, I think we're good. All right, well, what do you think? What did everybody think about it? Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun. Lunging strike is going to be what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I think we're going to see some changes to content coming up in the season. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to see some pretty big changes coming up. So we're already seeing some changes to masterworking coming in season 11. So I don't know what else content they're going to be bringing in, but I think we're going to see some stuff there too. So. Spiritborn and Druid's going to be good. Yep. Let's have fun. I'm going to have fun. I always have fun in every single season. Thank you for the follow. Thank you everybody for all of the follows today. I appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. I got to go eat some breakfast. I haven't gotten to eat yet. That took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. So I'm going to go raid, and then we'll let's see here. Turn this off. But I'll be back at my normal time tonight. I probably won't be on for too long because I do want to get some sleep before the launch of the season. I have a lot to do today that took so I have to get some videos up and running, and so, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. So all right, let's go raid. See you guys tonight.